It's all right. We're going, just waiting for it to say live, and it says live now. Good evening, everybody. It's the 8th of the 11th, 2017. I'll just explain who's with us. We have some of the members of Iron Realm Media on with us. We have Josh and we have Walt. Hello, Josh.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah. Well, we have Dem. Hello, Dem.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
From the UK, and Patricia from the UK so far on the panel. And just before we start having, it's going to be an open conversation today, Iron Realm. But just before we start, FPV is going to explain something, as everybody can see we're on a different channel.
Yeah.
FPV, over to you.
I'll just fill everyone in a bit. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Karen had to start a new channel because channel number 2 got a copyright strike, and it seems to have been from a map that I used in some work I did, but it was used with the best intentions. And for unknown reasons, Antonio decided to copyright strike the stream and take it down. So Karen's had to make this new channel. So you can pass the information around just to get everyone onto this channel and subbed and hit the bell, etc., etc. Because the other one's now blocked for 3 months.
Yes, again. But anyway, so we just thought we'd tell you we're starting again. And yeah. Anyway, that's a nice way to come onto our channel tonight, isn't it? A new channel. Anyway, I've changed the name slightly. It's now called Sun and Moon Family United. Okay, that's what this is going to be called from now on. So that's nice, isn't it? The name's changed slightly. So it's to include everybody. Hey guys, Iron Realm, how are you?
We are doing great.
What have you been up to lately?
Yeah, I really like the new name. That's good.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think it works really well. It is very all-inclusive.
But yeah, everybody, it's for researchers, people. Yeah, it's only a slight change, but yeah, that's what we're going to be going under now.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, we've been staying busy. We have our show, our Flat Earth Friday show, every Friday here on YouTube, and we picked up a couple more shows over on Truth Frequency Radio. Well, you want to tell them about the ironworks that we're doing over there?
Yeah, we're there early or late, depending on where you're located, I guess. We're on. Well, I'm Josh. You're the GMT expert. What is our time on GMT, sir? On Tuesdays and Fridays?
Well, I think now that everybody's got their time changed equally, I think
right.
10 a.m. GMT for Ironworks, and then 10 p.m. GMT on Fridays for the Flat Earth Friday Fringe Cast.
There we go. And I'm trying my hardest to get that whole GMT thing down so I can be just all across the plane at once. But here in America, it's 2 a.m. over on the Pacific coast, and then 5 a.m. over on Eastern coast. And here in the central area with me, it's 4 a.m. So as I said, early or late, depending on where you are here in the U.S., we'll either be getting you up in the right way or putting you to sleep with some good times and some good thoughts.
That's it. Yeah, it's Tuesdays and Fridays. If I didn't mention that, we're over on TFR. So hopefully we'll be picking up some more days. We've had a few requests that we do 5 days a week.
Yeah, we have actually. So, and we definitely open that up to anyone that's involved in not just flat Earth research, but I mean, you know, we want to cover it all. We want to cover anybody that's trying to get information out there that the mainstream media isn't, that even YouTube now. I mean, I myself got copyright strikes on promotions for my own channel and for Iron Realm Media using show segments that had absolutely no outside material involved. But we're getting copyright strikes for that. I mean, they're actually going way, way overboard with the new algorithms. So any chance we can to get people's story, and you don't have to be a scientist with a new experiment. You know, we want to open it to the family aspect, like you're doing here with this channel. People who've had this awakening, this eye-opening experience that Flat Earth brings, and it then opens your mind, and you're able to see the truths and the lies, and you're just like, you know, wide open to see some new things. So you're kind of sometimes alone in that amongst your own family at home. hopefully Iron Man Media, Sun and Moon,
Somewhere to hang out.
Flat Earth can be flat family. That's what we want it to be.
That's it. We've got enough division. We've got enough drama going on. We need to increase the amount of love and show the people that we can actually get along despite our differences of opinion, and we can come together on those things that we can prove and that we can observe, and of course the things that we can't observe because it's not there. So we need to kind of refocus our energies on, you know, lack of curvature and a lack of motion, and embrace these differences and be able to discuss openly and kindly all these other things that we're still looking at and still trying to figure out, and stop letting it divide us and cause all this anger. I mean, it's really just causing anger. People are getting really angry over this stuff, and it just seems it's silly at this point. There's no need for the anger when we've got so much to come together for.
Mm.
But that said, we're still doing our normal thing. We still have Adam out there doing researching, and John out there with his gyroscope. Well, his is about worn out now. He's about worn that one out. So
yeah. He definitely has been using it to death. And we have some great stuff coming up this Friday morning. We're going to have Paul on the plane for sure checking in with us from the actual Flat Earth Conference going on over there in North Carolina. And then we have some other lines in the water. Hopefully, we know Candy from I Spy NASA Live's channel is going to check in with us. So we have a few roving reporters that are going to be at the conference checking in, giving us some scoop on what's going on there. And then Friday evening on our show on YouTube, we're going to have Alan Park, who is a comedian from Canada who healed himself of prostate cancer, like terminal prostate cancer with cannabis oil. But he's done so much more since I've been researching this guy. My goodness, he's been doing truth and conspiracy since way back, early 2000s for sure. He's had quite a few different little venues into the truther arena. His current Green Crush show is really it's wide open. You pick a topic, he's pretty much covered it. It's not all about cannabis. And then the same thing with his Conspiracy Queries, I believe, channel.
That's it.
That also has some amazing topics, kind of just the wide range of truths that people should be aware of. So we can't wait to talk to him on Friday.
Yeah, his story is really amazing. He was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. The doctors didn't even give him a prognosis, really. There was no treatment. They said, look, we're not even going to bother giving you radiation. You're not going to get chemo. You're stage 4. You might as well just go home and get your stuff in order, because that's about what you have left. So he basically gave him the finger and went home and researched and started taking Rick Simpson oil. Started taking those Phoenix tears and cured himself, got it into remission, only to have it come back. And they told him the same thing. Oh, look, well, sorry, no chemo, sorry, no radiation, nothing you can do, go get your stuff in order, you're going to die. So he said, well, screw you again. So he went and got back on another cycle of Rick Simpson oil and cured himself a second time of stage 4 prostate cancer, no less, and is now on a maintenance treatment.
That's amazing.
Isn't it, though? Yeah, he seems to be doing really well. He's doing good.
He looks amazing on his show. His energy is incredible. So definitely can't wait to have him on and hear his story personally.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, did was it Santos I put your way? Have you talked to Santos? I
reached out to him via Skype, so I connected with him there. Hopefully, we'll be able to get together at some point.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. Yeah, he was bigger than B.O.B., bigger than Kyrie Irving for me. When he came out as a flat earther, I was jumping up and down. I was pumping my fist. I was like, yep, it's on now. Now the snowball effect comes, and that snowball effect never came really, but I'm still just excited to see him still out there doing it. It's great.
Well, it looks like Dre might come on as well for a bit. He's eating his dinner with his mum at the moment.
Well, if you got to have dinner with somebody, who better?
That's it.
Oh, that's nice. Well, that's really good about Santos. Also, it was you I came to about Josh Uber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've not had a chance to him very much either yet.
Yeah, we've had an unusual problem lately for Iron Realm. We're trying to figure out how to put people in schedules. We've never had that problem before. It's usually like, hey, help us, come on the show and talk. And so now we're like, oh,
what
wait.
Josh does is Josh talks in his taxi to people awesome. In his taxi about flat Earth, but some of the conversations are really interesting, and you realise that Josh knows quite a lot of information.
Well,
so I wondered if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Shall I pass you the link to the hangout we had the other day with him?
Yeah, would you? I've seen it floating through, but I don't know if Walt's seen it scroll past his feed yet. Definitely past.
I may not have. I've been doing a lot of promo work this week, trying to get some promos ready for the shows. So I've been kind of tied down with production, so I haven't had a chance to check it out. But yeah, that sounds awesome. Anybody who's willing to take that public risk and put it in the face of just general people, they have no clue if they're going to react nicely or, you know, violently or just, that's awesome. That's a great attack. That's a great way of putting it. Just, hey, you're in the car with me. What you going to do? Hop out? That's great. I love it.
But really, whether it's Dem or FPV or Patricia, anybody that wants to come on and talk, we have, again, it's 10 a.m. to noon GMT for the Ironworks. But we have 2 hours there. And on Friday nights at 10 p.m. GMT, we go anywhere from 3 to 4. We've gone 5-6 hours sometimes. We get a little crazy.
We do sometimes.
But we're learning to regulate ourselves a little. But yeah, it's an open invitation, really. The idea is to don't try to hold this stuff in. Don't be afraid to talk about it. If you need an outlet, if you need a soapbox to come and speak your truth, let us know. We're ironrowmedia@gmail.com. FEWorks, FEWORX @gmail.com. Either one of those, just hit us up. We'd love to have you on, hear your story.
Hey, did you hear that? Oh, feedback.
Uh-oh.
Who was that? Who's giving feedback? Oh, it's gone now. Yeah, did you hear that, everybody? An invitation from Iron Realm Media there. I mean, I've got someone else that you might be interested in as well, Matt and his triangles.
Matt, and so that sounds interesting.
Yeah, he does a lot of just a lot of, he's worked out frequencies, what it all is, the whole sort of how we're made up in frequencies and what everything means, and everything adds up to 9 and there's no 0 and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds similar, sort of that tetrahedron type idea that I've kind of looked at lately with Jim Carrey.
Maybe he'll come on for a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Hang on, I'll just see if he'll come on.
Well, we've made some positive contact with Lydia to try
cool,
to see
that's
about
good. Yeah,
having
someone
her.
else.
That's going to be amazing. I can't wait to talk to her. So.
Yeah, she's a really nice lady. She's really calm and really nice.
It's awesome.
I'm just messaging Matt, but I don't know if he's busy or not.
Well,
might just have to quickly ring him.
Awesome to let us come on here and hang out, and then we had a great time when you were on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's always good. You're
still
nice
trying to wrap our mind around that map. We've all had questions. We've talked about it in chats, you know, trying to wrap our head around it all. So definitely it's been fuel for thought. My goodness, it's definitely a brain twister. So more information would be great. So definitely you guys need to come back on sometime.
It's definitely caused me a need for more ibuprofen. That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Series will love to come on your program. Yeah, we will let him know. I'm just writing things in the chat room. Oh, he's looked now. One second. I'm not sure if he's coming on, if he's busy.
If I remember right, Josh, aren't we looking at like
Let me give him a quick call. Can you not just talk to yourself just for a minute?
Surely.
Absolutely.
Dave, ask him a question. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm going to even go ahead and plug Friday after next. After this Friday, we have next Friday on the Flat Earth Friday Fringecast, we have a baller coming on. I say he's a baller. He may be a little bit more open-minded. He co-hosts with myself the Billy Ray Valentine's show, The Infinite Fringe, over there on Truth Frequency Radio. And he also throws some episodes over on Ben's Podbean account. So you can check him out over at hackerhameen.podbean.com. And Ben Hameen is actually a professional wrestler, not WWE. I think he might be the next step down, but he's definitely tours the country doing shows, doing his wrestling bit. But he's a super smart guy, and he's got a podcast called The Conspiracy Horseman, where they kind of cover everything conspiracy and wrestling. So if you're a wrestling fan, it's really entertaining because they've got so much information there.
The energy is just insane. It's awesome. It's a fun watch as well. So definitely can't wait to have him on the show.
Yeah, that'll be good. He's a super, super nice guy. Sometimes he'll slip into character. So sometimes the heel wrestler, ready to take down the Americans because that's sort of his character. But really, he's just this great big old white guy. I say old, he's my age. But yeah, just a super nice guy, super smart guy. So yeah, I think it's really going to be interesting. We'll see if we can't actually finally get him converted off that ball onto the plane.
I think our buddy Billy Ray's slowly but surely slipping off the ball too.
Yeah, he's been 1 foot on, 1 foot off for a little while. I think since he's sort of been talking to us, we've definitely blown his mind open a bit. I don't know if he's necessarily ready to jump ship just yet, but he's close. I know he's definitely close. He's questioning, and that's good enough.
Not sure if Matt's busy, by the way. But yeah, I can show you bits of his work, but I'll have to do it. I'll have to send you the links to them afterwards.
That's fine. We'll definitely look at it.
Yeah.
Having to look into different areas for ideas of people that would maybe want to come on and hang out with us. We've definitely, or for me anyway, it's almost like the early days of Flat Earth. I'm doing some research in areas that I haven't dug into probably since my teens or my 20s. So it's definitely nice to get into that mode again. I've been deeply into learning video production and, how this whole YouTube thing works, trying to get Iron Room Media a little bit of an audience so we could get some of these nice people's ideas out there into a bigger venue. So it's definitely nice to get back into just digging into some interesting theories and some crazy some ideas that are floating around out there. The whole
he says he'll be on in 10 minutes.
Oh,
awesome. Sweet. Nice.
Well, yeah, I don't get nearly enough time to research as much as I used to here, trying to keep shows going and guests booked and everything produced and stuff. But that's one of the great things about doing the shows and having all these different points of view and different people on, is that I get to learn so much directly from them. So it's really a completely different experience, but I really like it a lot better. I like hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
And it gets you excited when you see people out there.
Fed up with all the rubbish, eh? Fed up with all the rubbish talk, the ego talk.
Right. It's like our buddy Justin Hartley. He came on a few times on Iron Man Media, and then he was on our show a few weeks ago on TFR. He's just put out a video that's getting awesome hits on YouTube. He's the guy that went to the talk in I'm not sure what part of Florida even was, but astronaut Kelly on stage, and he asked him about bubbles in space. So man, that's just inspirational. Talk about getting out there and putting it into the public eye. That was just great.
Do you think being a flat earther's changed you a little bit? Like how you view the world, like who you are as a person?
Definitely. It's really hard to enjoy some things that I've seen in different venue or a different eye. Now I see so much control and so much agenda behind entertainment and music now. I was really digging into the whole Paul is dead thing for another show that I had been a guest on, and that got me looking at the music industry and the whole idea that it's just another form. And it is. I mean, they put these ideas into the industry, they put it into the you know, these stars live certain ways, and these big personalities come out with these idiotic rap rants against political figures because they're important people. They're not. They're just people who happen to have a good rhyme and know how to work meter really well against a syncopated beat. Well, so these egos and these inflated personalities that are in the music industry, digging into that whole thing has really been. It's unfortunate that I'm a musician. I play, I sing, I love music. So it's really difficult on the one hand to see some of the stuff that music puts out, but then on the other hand to see people like this great guy doing all these flat earth country music videos. And then Josh sent around a link the other day to a new one that was that the name of it? That was just great, hilarious, genius video. If you guys haven't seen that one yet, it is so funny. Definitely check it out. It's great. So definitely so tired of the drama. Want to have some research and some fun with this stuff.
Hey, there's Matt.
Hey.
Another American. We're taken over by the Americans. Matt, if I just explain to you that in his den, he's from America, he's a member, he comes on. You know Patricia, you know FPV, and then the guy with the microphone is Walt, and then the one with the picture there is Josh, and they're from Iron Realm Media.
Hi, Josh.
How's it going, Matt? How you doing?
Good.
Good to hear
it.
Come on, because obviously Matt does masses of work, don't you, my darling?
I was born this way. It's not really something you're taught. It's it's a way of thinking. That's the whole problem. And then I start looking at it now, and I'm looking back at it, and my only answer for most people is that I didn't get programmed by anything. That's the shortest answer. I didn't get caught into anything. I didn't get caught into a basketball team or a football team or a religion or believe anybody that was trying to educate me, because I knew they were full of crap since I was 12. So I never got conformed by somebody else's opinion or religion. And I figured it, I just started asking questions. And the funny thing I started realizing is every time I verbalized my question, I got an answer. That's the craziest part about this, is you don't need anybody to give you an answer. You just got to ask the right question. And so I started, and I started reading a lot of books outside of our Bible today, and I started realizing that language is manipulated and many translations, and we know how that is. Game of telephone, by the time it gets to you, it's not what it was presented in the first place, or it's been altered to benefit somebody's ego.
Yeah, none of us asked for it though, did we, Matt? None of us have asked for this. I mean,
no, I didn't ask for this.
At least you woke up like younger. Some of us are older and woken up.
I literally had a stroke. I died. I was getting really angry because I didn't understand what my mind was showing me. I was getting really mad because I'm literally seeing this in my head. I close my eyes and I see this. This is what I see. This is what your eyes don't see. It's everything that's going on under your feet. It's everything that's going on in the air that you're breathing. It's the smallest things to the greatest things. It's everything moving all at once. It's all things from the micro to macro. Everything's moving. This is a universal clock, and it's vibrating on different speeds of density, from the slowest things to a diamond. It vibrates a lot higher. So that's the highest of speeds. It's the highest of density. It's the furthest point away. And that's what this is showing you. This would have been in your Bible if the Catholic Church didn't remove it from your Bible 500 years ago. King James wasn't the rightful king, and the things he did wasn't inappropriate. We're not going to go into that, but he removed, and they removed 30 books from your understanding of today's Bible, and because of that, it's left you in a state of confusion. And that was their whole intent in the first place, to leave you in a state of confusion so you become less evolved of a species or race, so they could take advantage of you mentally and make you their slaves, put you under sound spells. There's 30,000 words in the language of English, and every year they're adding more legal and lawful words to the diction of Aries, which is the sun, Saturn, which is Satan, Saturn. And that's where you get Christmas, and Santa is Satan. They're twisting letters backwards to forwards using a mirror system in our language. It's very horrifying to understand this stuff. And I've understood it since I was 15 years old, that they're using a mirror on our eyes. And the reason why I could see it is because I have Asperger's, and it allows you to see light and vibrations in a reverse spectrum that everybody else sees. You see everything that everybody else can't see. It's crazy. I walk around seeing this stuff all the time. It's everywhere. It's in the corporations, it's in your commercials, it's in your movies. They're feeding it to your brain, and you don't even realize it, and you just think it's everyday stuff, and it's no big deal. And your eye and their belief system is silence is consent. It's a form of mockery for your eyes, and that's how they gain control and power over your mind, because they bend you to their sound intent. That's what lawyers do. That's what judges do. That's what politicians do. That's what commercialers do. That's what salesmen do. I was trained to do it for 15 years. By making you emotionally feel something. It doesn't matter, because you're not taught to be neutral. It doesn't matter if I make you feel positive or negative. I made you feel. I created a mental, metaphysical, emotional tension, connection, string line from my heart to your mind. Now I can make you go to the left or the right, because I caused you to feel, because I got you on a tension. You're a fish on a line. I made you feel. Now I can push you any way I want.
What was that field of study that you obviously have a lot of knowledge about? Were you in advertising, or?
I was door-to-door salesman. I have 15 years in sales in a variety of different markets, but the bottom line is they all do exactly generically what I'm telling you about right now, and I've had enough. The schools do it to you, just like for prime example, politicians never use definitive words. Okay, you vote them into office, but they never say yes or no. They always say words that they can change their statement later, so it never appears that they're actually lying to you. They only tell you what they want you to hear in the moment, so it benefits their motive, their intent, their sound intent. You can be making sounds with your mouth, but they can be spelling them to their own mind however they want to benefit their intent. That's what lawyers do. Some evil shit. And that's because of a lack of understanding of words.
It's evil at the most, though, isn't it? Because everything's a lie. Everything is a lie.
It is. And without even opening a book, I can paint you such a simple picture when you break it down with natural science. And you look at alchemy, which is one of the original natural science and the laws of it, and you start evaluating what they said, and you look around and you apply it, then you really start to see it. First law of alchemy is that there's nothing that's not in 3 states. Okay? So let's start with time. So with the seasons, the state of time, you have mid, early, and late seasons. 3 states of seasons, 3 states of time. Water, liquid, gas, and vapor. You have 3 states of water. You have 3 states of magnetism. You have 3 states, positive, negative, neutral, and everything that applies to reality. It doesn't matter what state it's in or density. It has only 3 states that it falls under: red, blue, or yellow. Positive, negative, or neutral. That's a universal law. That's a line that nobody can disagree with.
Matt, explain to them a bit about what you've realised about numbering, you know, like there's no zero and stuff like that.
Well, see, the first understanding I come to in my way of life is this is also my way of life. Okay. So metaphysically speaking, I want you to show me a zero. I want you to count zero. Show me how to count it. Please, show me how to count it. Think about it. How do you count zero?
Hey, Josh or Walt, can you count a zero?
I would say by the act of not counting, would that be a counting zero?
Do you see what I'm showing you?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, so in a kinetic belief system, there is no zero because it's the result of motion. Ocean, current, ocean, the atomic matter ocean. They understood that the way their belief systems and mine is everything is a vibrational density of water. Take a look around. You're full of water.
Right.
Nothing doesn't have water in it. Water is matter. In the ancient belief systems, nothing didn't have water in it. Everything was a part of a sea of water that was vibrating on different levels of density. And the density was expressed by the color of it. So now you're talking about looking around and realizing primary states of color. There's only 3 colors. There's only red, there's only blue, and there's only yellow. And then when you see that logic, your tech, your computer screens, your monitors, green is not primary. It's sub-primary. So they're training your eyes to see reality incorrectly. They're altering your eyesight and conditioning your mind to see something in a way that it's not supposed to be, because that's not even the truth.
So what colour are trees then? What colour are the leaves then?
Well, they're green, but the state of green is what I'm showing you. It's a state of mixture of light between the sky and the sun. Look, it's yellow and blue, and the trees are green. You're not seeing it right.
So it's just part of the matrix of control that we're all embedded in? Is that why ones and zeros are what make it all up?
That's all part. Yeah, when you start looking at how I'm showing you this color status, it's the colors are expressed by dying. So let's say the furthest point from heaven was the highest density, and that would be expressed by diamond. Look at that. That's the hardest thing. See that? It's the furthest point away, and it has no color. When you go to art school, they teach you that black is actually the sum of all color, not white. And this is where the public they don't tell you this. They tell you it's the other way around. Black is the sum of all color. White is the absence of all color. So they're teaching you light spectrum for your eyes backwards. And some schools would force you to learn if you were left-handed, some of you may be left-handed and you had this experience and you were forced to learn to write right-handed. And the mechanics behind that was because in the ancient languages, we wrote with our left hand and we wrote from the right side to the left. And now they mirror that and you write with your right hand from the left to the right. The mechanics got switched. And the fundamental belief, I believe, behind that is it has to do with your eyes and the creation and logic. See, your right hand runs your left eye and your left eye runs your right hand. So they were trying to detach your mechanical thinking from the right side of your brain, which would be creation and music and sound and anything to do with numbers. Think about it. Forcing you into just a logic form of thinking, a masculine form of thinking about things, trying to form you into a box, when the reality is you can make a box with 3 triangles and you can make a cube with 12 triangles. There is no box. The box is an illusion and the circle's an illusion too. There's only triangles in motion. There's nothing that's not moving, and everything's in vibrational states of 3. And the 3 colors are red, blue, and yellow. And you look at every other color, it's in between of one state to the next, like a wheel. It's a
What,
clock.
and there's three numbers, 3, 6, 9.
Yeah. Well, that's the next part.
Sorry, 3, 6 equals 9.
Well, what happened is the Persian fall of Babylon. Persians installed the zero into mathematics and invented fractal banking. You call them Jews today. Sorry. The Persians sacked Babylon and they invented the zero position for banking and fractal reserve banking. That's where it was born. There was no zero before then. It's an invention. You can't count it. You never spend zero in the store. You never see zero on the price tag of things. You never pay. You see what I mean? So realistically, it doesn't even exist. So now, once you get the zero out of your head and realize the only time it actually appears is in motion, and a great example I use for people for this form of thinking is if you were at the top of a very tall stairwell and looking down to the bottom, there's no circle, but when you look down and you see the flat in the bottom, what do you see? See a circle. It wasn't put there, but there it is. It's created from motion of moving parts. It's not a physical thing. It's a expression of action. Current. It's non-existent.
Every time we come on this show, guys, you take my brain to a whole new level. My goodness.
So once the zero is out of that equation, and now you're only looking at 9. Now you're looking at 9 positions, and that's divisible by 3. So now you're looking at pi that you're dealing with inside of 9. And then you look at a circle and it's 360 degrees. Well, drop to 0, there's no 0. So now you're looking at 9 to 36. And 3 and 6 is 9. It's a fractal state of 9. And you cut it, and then now you're looking at now. And every time when you deal with pi mathematics, you start looking at it and you realize that every portion number inside of pi, the equation, the degree, the number of pi, the fractal state, it always adds to 9. It never doesn't. It adds to that point because that point is above all the points in the middle. It's not below or equal to, it's above. So they're adding up and building to that point. This is Pythagorean mathematics. I taught myself this. I don't even know why I did it, to be honest. I just found it interesting. And it turned out to be really important. And then it turned out to be tied to my family tree. That's when it started getting crazy. But now go back to the 9. So the 9 always adds to 9. It doesn't matter how you look at it. 9 always adds to 9. 9 times any number of the equation, the numbers always add to 9. And I read the book of Enoch, which would have been in your Bible, again, if it wasn't for manipulation. You would find it. Oh, man. My uncle has a copy of it, but he won't let me have it. He's being a meanie. Anyway, Enoch was talking. This is the understanding of this math is from my mind's understanding from reading the book of Enoch, and he starts showing you these things. He says nothing's not in this equation. You start looking, and then I realized that 12 is a fractal state of 3 because 2 and 1 is 3. So what I figured out, what I stumbled on, I figured out, and I started running hard on after this was that 1, 4, and 7, those 3 numbers, and it doesn't matter about their position or their arrangement. It's those 3 numbers. They're a fractal state of 3. They can be positioned any way you want. It doesn't matter. They still sum the same. The sum is still always going to be 12. And 1 plus 2 is 3. It's a fract. So 147 hertz on your sound scale. It's a blue sound wave. It's a scalar blue sound wave. So any vibrational state of 147 through to 741 is 6 sound waves. Those 6 waves are blue. You see what happened here? What I made happen is like that's a fractal state of blue sound waves, and that's your neutrons. That's your atoms. That's your neutral atom state. And then 2, 5, and 8. The sum of those 3 numbers is 15, and 1 and 5 is 6. So that's your yellow state of sound. 2, 5, and 8. So that's 258 all the way to 825, 852 hertz. All those are all yellow sounds. Yellow sounds. 6 yellow electron sounds. And these are all 3 parts of one thing. Everything's an atom. What's not an atom? You see what happened here? And then this 3, 6, and 9 themselves, those 3 numbers are the last 3 left, and they add up to 18, and 1 and 8 is 9. So I've made a color code that turned into blue 3, yellow 6, red 9. Electron, radian, and neutron color code. Blue neutron 3, yellow electron 6, radian red 9. All my math is based on this understanding right here. I've shown you how numbers are a fractal state of red, blue, and yellow. It's some pretty wild stuff I really started stumbling on, and it overlays into all forms of the alchemical relationship of everything. Everything has, like I said, one of those states, and what's not moving when it comes right down to it, what's not vibrating, what doesn't have resonance in it, what doesn't have a sound. It gets crazy. Any questions at this point? I'll just kind of stop for a minute and have a drink of my coffee.
Quite explain it like this. Matt usually gets out all his pictures and things.
So,
starting from the beginning, aren't you, Matt?
Matt, I love this. You have totally busted my brain for the day. And
My
you just
goodness.
nonchalantly take a sip of coffee. Like, here, have you quit?
Any questions? Like questions? My goodness, man. Let me pick my brain back up. Oh my gosh.
Right?
You see that?
I do. It looks like the world's hardest dartboard.
That's 9 centrifugal rings around that center point. But there's no circles and there's no squares. Just like the Book of Thoth says, there's no circles and there's no squares.
So it's all tetrahedron?
No, it's a relationship to do with pi mathematics. When you're using pi to circle, you're using the Enoch called this. He called it star counting. Okay. So let's say I wanted to make an 11-pointed star, right? That's kind of a weird number, isn't it? To how do you make a symmetrical 11-pointed shape, right? That doesn't even make sense, not logically speaking. But yet using a pi mathematics, you can do it.
Wait, hold it back a little bit. Oh, okay.
You know, this is elements. When he was talking about stars, he's talking about element shape counting, counting the shape of elements.
That's wild. Okay, so shape, energy, relationship to shapes. Not just the basic one everybody knows, pyramid power, but I mean, I've looked into the whole, the wings of the scarabs levitating from the shape of the inside of the wing, like the little tiny shapes that are actually part of its makeup, its structure. So, yeah, shapes. My goodness.
We're not, because I'm autistic. And I had a love for music my whole life, and it got me in a lot of trouble when I was drawing pictures in school. And they put me out of class. They kept me in a little box over him. We'll put him over here. We don't want him messing up the flock. Put him over
right,
here.
we can't indoctrinate him. We don't want him messing up the waters.
See what I mean? I'm doing this out of my head. People need to understand. I barely know how to use a fucking computer. I barely know how to use the internet. I hate it. I hate it. I'm a face-to-face kind of guy. I'm old school. I was trained to go door to door. I hate computers. So it's a lot of, I'm outdated. I'm 35 and I'm freaking outdated. I'm a dinosaur. I'm a
Join the
dinosaur.
club, brother.
I'm a freaking dinosaur, man. So by my understanding of numbers, by what I just showed you, that there's no zero. By my understanding, there's no zero, and it works. You start looking and applying this, and it breaks down into this color scheme, and these numbers start coming out. I just showed you. This is from Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and the combination of understand. Tesla was working with this same shit. I swear to you on my life, Tesla was working with this, but he had a lesser understanding than me. He's trying to tell you that everything is sound, and I'm sitting here telling you to your face that without this, he was telling you light, but it's not light. Okay, sound is light. Sound is the effect. See, it's not that. It's the. I mean, not the effect. It's the result. It's not the command. It's not the action. It's the result of the action. Do you understand that?
In the beginning was the word, my friend. Yes, sir.
You gotta reach out and turn the damn light on. Now watch this. You think about word and your sound, right? So you think you're at the end of the rope when you got sound. But watch this. Who spoke the sound? Everybody gets excited, right? They stop at sound. I'm like, well, who spoke the sound? Thought comes first in all things. See that? Consciousness comes first in all things. And that understanding is from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
I completely believe that. I think that's what they're using humans for. That's the energy that they're harvesting. It's that imagination, that ability to create.
Right. And the people that are getting cut out of their classrooms and the people that are getting...
Is it that though? Because they're trying to dumb us down. They're making us into what do you call
batteries. Literal matrix, plug-in human batteries, spoon-fed.
They're making us drones. They're making us, no one thinks anymore. No one does anything anymore.
Yeah. No. So I'm going to show you a couple of basic things here. So like this, I've held on to, and I've made a copy of every time I lost it. I sat down and make a clean copy, and I'd hold on to it to prove to people that I figured out a code in all things. Long time ago, I figured this out. I was 16 years old when I figured this out. No one listened to me. I sent patents to Microsoft for some of my ideas, and some of my products turned into products that are in your home right now. True story.
Are you at liberty to discuss which ones?
I really don't want to. They're very popular, and they sell a lot, even right now. This is where you get a little group called the Rosicrucians. How many of you are familiar with them?
I've seen their ad in a lot of magazines, and that's really the extent of it, man. Unfortunately,
How about
I've never dug into it.
This is their logo. You see it? This is a matrix code that it turned out that this is what Tesla's talking about. Everything's in 12 tiers. Enoch's saying the same thing. Ezekiel's saying the same thing. Merlin said the same thing. Jermaine said the same thing. Everything's in 12 positions. But the 12 is a fractal state of 3 is what I caught on to with Gematria, written by Saint Germain. Gematria is a color code. So you see that this is literally like pixelations in your TV. When you're changing the tint and the contrast on your TV, it's all pixelations. It's all motion of red, blue, and yellow. And when they cross, they make the other colors. See, just like a TV. They're mocking you. Fucking, this is a real live Truman Show. So So I was showing you that matrix code. So this is a code to what I call color counting and pairing of numbers. So when you pair numbers and you add them together, they create a different sum, 2-digit sum or 1-digit sum, whatever the case may be. But the sum of those two numbers will be called the personality number. So I'm going to show you how pairing of numbers works in consecutive order. The answers are going to be in consecutive order in the answer column. So color counting. So starting with the right in order. By the law of 9, 9 is always 9. 9, 9 is 18. 4 and 4 is 8. So a pair of 4s, the sum is 8. Pair of 9, see this? Pair of 7, pair of 8s is 7. Pairing of numbers, counting in order. Look at that. I bet that's really outside the box for you.
That's good stuff. I like that.
Okay. So this is the color code for sound waves, how I was expressing sound waves work earlier, how you break them into this fractal state. There's your blue sound waves, your yellow, and your red. So when you're getting green, it's a vibration between here, and when you want orange, it's a vibration between here, and purple is between here and there. It's a wheel. It's going around, it's twisting. It's showing you what's happening just by understanding that right there. The numbers are moving, but the sum's always the same, but it's roping. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be what the Enoch would call a 10-pointed star. And those are 10 points around an 11th point in the center. And they're placed at 36 degrees circle, and you get 10 points around the outside, creating the 11th point in the center. But boy, look at that circle that's appearing. There's your pi. There is no circle.
That's gorgeous.
So this is just one understanding of it. And when you get down to the base understanding about counting like this, the literal, when I show you this, you'll understand the mechanical differences between linear and spherical understanding of numbers. So when I tell you the number's pi, you're going to see a binary number in your code. But when I look at pi, I was getting ready to put this on my wall. I have a beautiful wall in the other room. I really should charge admission. I tell my wife I should charge admission for people just to come into my house and see that wall. This is the Pythagorean shape for pi, which is 314. This is their meaning of pi. And what this is a triangle. See the blue line, this triangle, and a square, and a point in the middle, 3. The dot in the middle is 1, and the square is 4, 314, pi. That's the difference. That's the literal difference in the way your brain works and mine. I see pi like this. You see it the way you see it in your head right now. Because that's the match. Do you see the difference already? Just mechanically?
Only that there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can necessarily identify where that starts, but yeah, that's amazing.
Oh my goodness, yes, for sure.
So when we talk about numbers, we're talking about symmetrical shapes and points of value instead of binary coding on a line. We're talking about dimensional shapes. That's how they did. That's how they expressed themselves. They didn't have no money. Their only form of math was to build stuff. That's it. They believed in all this, and they realized that everything was one. The calendar system was based on the travel of the moon, not the sun. Not the sun. Lunar calendars. Lunar, not solar. And there's a massive reason why. And I'm going to be able to tell you without even opening a book. Because this is some child's play. Because we're overlooking a lot of serious stuff. The first half inch in our face. The first half inch. That's the problem with people. Ego gets in the way of things. And you always miss the first half inch. Okay? First, Enoch talks about moving in half measures. So when you're trying to find this math, it's our understanding of shapes and numbers. But like you just said, it's a huge difference. So when you use this understanding of what happened, you get a lot of different answers.
Matt, what do you mean when you say you missed the first half inch? What does that mean?
Well, mathematically speaking, when you talk about this going into mechanical motion, 1 times 1 doesn't work because 1 times 1 is always 1. See? It doesn't move. It's not going anywhere.
Gotcha.
So, and you're thinking about a line, and mine is different because I look at a line, and the line has 3 points. It has a point in the end, middle, and the beginning. Line. 3 points. I'm not taught that. That comes with experience. It has 3 points. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you got a line that has 3 points, and you're calling that a hole. And that's Enoch's understanding of a line. You got to deal with his understanding, not what you want it to be, what he wants it, what he was saying. See? How he was looking at it. And that's how he saw a line, is it had 3 points. So 1 is actually 3. It's not 1. You see that? Because you see what I just showed you? Because so 1 is actually 3.
No, I got you.
It's very confusing, but when you see that and then look at it as a shape, now you take 3 and times it by half of itself, 1.5. Now you get 4.5. And see, this is my first problem with Fibonacci is there's no square in it. So how do you square into time? There's no understanding of how you box into time. See? There's no squaring in their ratios. And the sound of it, and you look at it in the mirror and you spell it, it literally says, I can see on a fib in the mirror. Or you look at it and you fib, oh, Nazi, it's a Nazi lie. It's a fib of the Nazis. That's what it is. That's what everybody's gaga over, but the sound of it says it's a fib of the Nazis. And I can see on a fib, spell it out in the mirror. We're not taught English very well.
No, we're taught how to spell. It's called spelling for a reason.
Right. I joke with people all the time. I said, you should come over. I'll teach you some words. Bring a dictionary. I'll show you some stuff. And they get mad at me. And I'm like, look, there's 30,000 words in the English language. If you don't know them, you be careful. Or I'll put you under one. I'll spell you under.
That's it. Grammar and grimoire. I mean, there's a reason it's called the universe. It's one verse that was spoken to make all the creation, the universe.
Oh yeah. I was ranting to my friend earlier on Facebook. I was like, I'm gonna go do a live rant, and I'm gonna go. And I have a big joke about this, like a Carlisle rant about it. I did a really good job. He had his cracked right up. We're capped in, right? You guys, not me. Not me. I jumped these ropes. I lived outside and roamed all over the country. I've been in 35 states and I've been all over the place. But what happened is this. You are capped and gowned from high school. You're capped with a black cube on your head, and you were ground to Saturn, the box, the black box, the cube. You were capped and cubed to Saturn. And the J is an invention of this occult, this mafia. They created the J and added it to our mankind's understanding of letters. So you were capped to the capital J hook, and it's a fish hook. Look at the J. It's a fish hook. Look at it. It's a fish hook. Tell me it's not a fish hook. I'm sorry. It's a fish hook. It's a logger's hook. It's a fish hook. You see this? And the symbol for somebody that believes in Jesus, you turn it over and it's a penis. And you turn it upside down, it's a vagina. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's symbolizing something, mocking you right in your face. So it's a Captain James Hook. You've been captain, capital from Capitula, which is the ancient capital for Rome. Capitula, and that's, yeah, and kaput is dead. So capital, dead hill, capital, see, and we've been fish hooked with a crucifixion, which is actually a cruise. It's actually a cruise, which is a fish story. A cruise, or a ruse is a lie. A ruse, a cruise, and a fiction. A ruse and a fiction. Brought to you by the Rosicrucians. The Rosicrucians gave you a line, an emotional line, and we swallowed it like a good little fish. And they sent us to school with a K, not CH, with a K. That's for many fish, to go to a box. See? It's horrible. My God, it's horrible. Look around. The crucifix is an unfolded cube. It's an unfolded cube. It's a set trap to box you in. They're going to jack you in a box. They're trying to jack you in a box. And you're going to go to church on Sunday and you're going to sit in a pew and sit in your own shit. You're going to sit in a pew. I didn't do this. It was already there. That's what you're doing. And when you eat crackers, you're symbolizing cannibalism. Cain and Abel, cannibalism. You're symbolizing cannibalism. You're eating flesh and you're drinking blood. I'm sorry. That's what you're doing. You're symbolizing eating flesh and drinking blood. And I don't think any of that's holier than thou art. Sitting in your own shit in your pew. That's funny as shit to me, and that's ritualistic behavior. You sit there every Sunday at 9. Sunday at 9, right? Now, let's go back to creation and the word. This is already saw that. I'm just showing you. We've been fish hooked. I'm going to show you how we got fish hooked. This is great. This is so great because I'm literally thinking I'm almost the only one without a computer. I don't have no science gizmos. I don't need nothing. I got my brain. Got my brain. So there was nothing. And it was water vapor because it wasn't liquid yet, because water comes in 3 states. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yes? Child throws rock in the water, causes ripple, right?
That we know.
Correct.
That's the word. Okay? The projectile out is the negative. You see that? Then there's an opposite because everything to the left to the right. So that means you got 2 projectiles from the center. Right? See that? So you got 2 rays of light leaving out from the center, one going left, one going right. Because whatever happens, it's going to be symmetrical. And which way does everything go? It goes everywhere. Now it causes the bubble. That's what we're living inside of it. The sound caused the bubble that we're in. See that? It caused the shape that we're inside of. And the current of the waters, see this? The current of the waters is controlled by the moon. You'll note that the moon pulls your waters, not the sun. The moon pulls the oceans. What doesn't have water in it? What does not have water? Everything has water. That's a joke. It's a trick question. So the moon's causing the tidal currents. That causes the sky to turn. Because there is no sun. That's where I'm at right now. There is no suns. What's going on is it's a refraction of moonlight through the water. You're seeing, just like if you were shining for fish. You ever seen that happen before? Any of you? Shining for fish?
I have fish and frogs. Yeah.
So if you got a light bending in there, it looks like it's somewhere where it's not.
Correct.
You see, now there's nothing actually stopping the light in a vacuum, so you're going to have two of those spots because everything's the same. There's going to be at least two of everything from the center, at least minimum, because it's electric universe. So there's always going to be a positive, negative, and neutral. And the neutral point is being shared by everything. And that's what this math that I'm showing you is showing, that everything is in this math. It's all tied to the center. It's all going to the middle. There's no squares because it's actually fractal states of 3. You start looking down and look at a square. Show you what I mean. I mean, you see it every day.
What it is Matt gets a tiny bit frustrated sometimes because there's this whole thing to explain. So where'd you start?
Right.
Where'd you start explaining it?
Your rotary wheel? Okay, this is a great example. How many of you know what the Rotors Club wheel looks like? I don't have a symbol on hand for it, but I have my version of it. You know the Rotor Club? Your local rotary wheel?
I'd probably be able to identify it. I couldn't describe it off the top of my head.
Well, this is a Pythagorean understanding of the rotor wheel, which is the elemental star shape. But it's the same thing as the rotor wheel. It's 8 points around the center. It's realizing that there is no squares. It's only a result of many triangles in motion.
It reminds me of the way the eyeball works.
Exactly, and that's the number one law in alchemy, is that everything. And some of the smartest yogis in the world will tell you that if you want to understand the universe, all you have to do is look in your own eye. And I have I literally was joking. You see those little dots on there?
Yeah, I see them.
Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that one of those is you. That's what I'm telling you. One of those is you. One of those is you.
I see the Knights Templar cross on there too, twice, blue and red.
Or your NATO logo, NATO. I just skinned out a little bit, but it's there too.
And the radiation symbols in there too, yeah.
So the occult are all about 13, and that's a big number for them, is 13. Well, I'm going to show you
the M.
So I'm going to show you why. And when you start thinking about it as a Christian, you're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel, and that's the sum of all things. Understanding the 12 tribes is the sum of all things. And that whole understanding is the sum of all things. So this is 12. And they're created, and the one in the middle, 13.
Beautiful.
And all the colors are in the right exact places, based on the gematria of the colors, sub and prime relations to the whole, based on. I didn't do this by hand. This is something I did in 5 minutes while I'm just sitting there thinking about it. This is just it's so easy. And that circle's not put there. It's a result of many things working together. It's not traced. It's not penned out. It just appears that way. Creating that plane of existence through the middle right here. Plane of existence. Everything coming together in the center right here. And that's your they're not teaching us the shapes of this earth very well. We all know this. That's why we're doing these videos, because they're not telling us the shape of things correctly. I started getting into adding with these numbers, and that's where it starts getting fun. Tesla's scale of 369 in a pi format. This is how it looks. This is what Tesla was talking about, the key to 369. Key to the universe was an understanding of 369. I don't know if he ever acquired the understanding of the color code of this or not, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people talk about color in relationship of sound. I haven't caught too many people talking about this. It's perfectly symmetrical, and it can be repeated every time. Once I have 5 or 6 people that took me serious, and it's hard for me to talk because I don't talk, but language, lack of understanding different words. I have older words, analog, digital. It's very confusing. It is, because I spent more than half of my life outside. Stripped in this world, not qualified to do anything. I don't qualify to do anything. That's the messed up part. I got busted back. I'm sitting here. I'm rotting in a freaking cage. And this, I don't even feel like I deserve to know this. That's how I feel about it. Like, I'm looking at this and I cry about it. It's emotional. I get emotional over it. It's powerful stuff. It really is. That's the full scale of Pythagorean. Look at that's amazing. As an element,
looks like the top of a diamond.
Yeah, I did this by hand. I didn't do this with a computer program. I did this with this understanding.
Well, it reminds me of like when you go back to perspective, the perspective of your eye. You know, everyone's individual perspective of what they, perceive to them. And how it works, how you get the message and the information from what you see and how it goes in.
Yeah, and I'm showing you blatantly like this. You just start, it pops in your head everywhere. Otherwise, that's a 7 with 8 in the middle. 7 with 8 in the middle. I've been doing this since I was a child. I mean, and just doing the regular work, I couldn't do it. Doing this program. I didn't like any of the things I was told to like. This is the Pythagorean understanding of that same last one. That whoever said was beautiful. These are 2 pyramids sharing a point. That's what that is.
It also reminds me of the basis for a computer too, like how to make the 3D and the motion and the color and the movements to follow like pictures and stuff.
Yeah. It's all Greek mathematics. It was renamed and hidden from us to dumb us down.
Hey, Matt, I really think you should hang that stuff on a wall and charge people admission to walk through your house.
Bro, I got another wall in another room. It's already 12 feet high across. And I'm like, look, I don't get no knocking on my door. Okay. I got a bunch of monkeys around here. When they see this stuff, they freak the hell out and they run away and they think I'm a madman. And I'm laughing because I'm showing them elemental numbers and shapes. They got no idea what it is. They think it's witchcraft, sorcery. No, it's just elemental numbers and shapes.
Well, if they think you're mad, the laughing doesn't help. They'll just think you're even madder. You laugh at them like that, just so you know.
Good.
Right? I love it.
Good. That's I mean, this is some of the most amazing stuff I ever done. It's just, I mean, man, just seeing it, understanding it, it's amazing. It's amazing. This stuff, what it means for us is in terms of practical application. People, we don't look at things when we don't apply the logic of this around us. We shouldn't have to be paying for electricity. It's free. It's in the air. It's in the ground. It's in the water. Nothing doesn't have water in it, and there's ways to cause an effect to create a vibration that is electricity. I have many ways to do this. It's very basic stuff what they were doing. They're using this dielectric magnetic energies with crystals to create light. It didn't cost them nothing. It's free. No oil required. Using probably even transportation, flying, who knows? That's flight. All of it. Polarity. It's just sound vibrations. It's an understanding that sound has color and it's expressed in its density. Each one of those rings, we'll go back to this. Each one of these, that's a ring of understanding. That's a ring of understanding. Okay? That's a ring of understanding. That's a ring of understanding. There's 9 rings of understanding, creating the 10th ring in the center, which is really only 1. Because there's no 0. Because everything's turning back to here. Now, when this happens, you see how right here they're really small and there's a lot of them, and as it goes out they kind of space out and it balloons out. These things are less dense than these things. That's what this chart is trying to show you, is the elemental density of that ring of understanding, that realm of understanding. That layer of density, the realm of understanding, the speed of it and its color. That's what you can figure out through what I've figured out. How to star count and express the speed of density through color vibrations and the sound wave frequencies. And you can create a shape to express that sound. Because originally sound was used to create forms. So what you're doing is you're using creation's math. That's what this is. It's creation's math. Because nothing doesn't have sound, nothing doesn't have a shape to it, and we sure as hell didn't design any of the shapes to anything. Because sound created the first shape. We're just trying to express what we're understanding. We didn't write no laws. See that? Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. Man can't write laws. They can only express their current understanding.
They don't have enough understanding to, or they have enough understanding and they don't want you to have it. It's one or the other. They either don't have it or they don't want you to.
Well, I feel like I'm moving very slowly through a very dense ring of understanding.
But it's a lot, man, because I'm a reader, man. I've been at this a long time. I'm trying to make it very easy for someone to do. It will take you a while to get it. It will. Because it's way outside the box. It's, whoa, what is this? What? That's what's going on in your head right now. I know. I feel it.
Well, I've always been fascinated by people on the spectrum versus people that are not. And it's that difference, and just completely fascinated in understanding the difference. I would just super curious to be able to pluck your brain out and use it for a little bit just to see how it works.
I get mad about it, you know, like some friends have some friends have tried to record me. I can't do things on the camera. I get angry. I get actually angry when people are watching me try to work them. I get angry. I don't even know why. So I do know why. It doesn't like being watched. Spirit doesn't like being watched. That's what it's all about. Spirit doesn't like being watched. Doesn't like being monitored by anybody. No. Like, get out of here with that shit. That's the attitude I get. Because I'm talking from my heart. I don't have no ego about it. I have just walked and followed the numbers where they led me and had no opinion about anything. I just accepted what I physically could prove with the mathematical understanding that I was getting from this color assignment to numbers. But I figured by this color assignment, I was going to find the density of all things. I was going to find roads. You see what I mean? I was going to find ways through things that hadn't really been figured out before. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's literally what happened. Is I've been able to map out from the unseen to the seen with this understanding of vibrations in life.
Well, I applaud. I could barely get myself to work.
Because I was so mad. I was so mad at the church for telling me I was wrong. So mad. I was so mad being called a fool my whole life. I was so mad. I said, I'm going to find a way. I said, I'm going to find a way to figure out how I see, what is this going on up in here? And I know I'm right and I know they're lying. How do I figure this out and then show people what I'm figuring out? What I see. I see this too. So once I heard Thoth, it was like a major bang for my brain. I got it. 100% got it. It's a long time to make that chart. I don't really want to do it again. I do those big pieces and I'm drained for months. I don't want to do it again. It's a lot of power. It's a lot of sit down. And it is. It's a lot of math. People think, no, there's no squares there. There's no triangles. It's pi. It's all pi. That's all pi. It's rings of pi. It's using pi numbers, and that's how you get your 9 rings. You use 9 rings, 9 numbers of pi. It's 9 specific numbers. But yeah, I get you your 9 rings around the center point using triangles only. No squares, no circles. Work of a madman. Yes.
That's it. I love it though. It's really interesting stuff.
Thank you, man. Man, there's a whole mess of it. It has a mass of laws, color, sound, vibration. Hold on. I got one right here. It's a good one. It's a big one. This is your plane of existence. Pythagorean ley lines by using pi. I didn't put no shapes in it. I just wanted to lay the lines out just so I would have something laying around the house where I could show by a full scale of the ley lines. That's how it works out. This is Greek. This is Athens and Atlanta, and way back. They don't even tell us about this stuff. They leave it out of the history books. Like it didn't even happen. But then you start looking around, and questions like, how come we can't go walking in the Grand Canyon? What's that all about? Right? It's a burial site. That's why you can't go in there. It's a burial site. It's a burial site to our ancestors. Jacob of Israel is buried in the Grand Canyon. Under it. That's why you can't go down in there. That will contradict your history books quite a bit.
That ties into the whole giants burial area found there at the Grand Canyon.
That temple mound they found in there is a temple mound dedicated to Isis, the moon, the mother. the triangle, your moon eye.
Gotta chase
Your
that
left
moon
hand
eye.
and your moon eye. Isn't
When
that
the moon
amazing?
hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
So the moon's actually the sun, and everything else is a negative. And you look at the Bible is telling you, even the Bible tells you that the moon is the greater light in the night, and the sun is the lesser over the day. But now where I'm showing you this, the moon is the center of all things. How you can see that logically is look outside. You see the moon during the day. You'd never not see the moon. It's always there. You're just blinded by the light of the sun. You see the rock in the water, 2 points of light, moon in the middle. And you're blinded by the refractions of the light from the middle, which is the moon. And the water is being pulled by the moon, and your brain has fluid in it, like a gauge, you know, it's got a little air pocket, and it measures fluid, and it keeps the balance. Well, that's what your brain's doing, is keeping the balance for the wobble, a little bit of wobble from the water being turned by the moon. You see that? That's the toroidal field right there.
Do you understand that, guys?
No, not in the least. Nope.
Water is the plane of existence.
I mean,
water is the plane of existence. The ocean, the water is the plane.
I've been
the ocean itself is the plane of existence that we walk on. Soil is the result of sunlight resonating. Water. Nothing's not water. Everything has water in it. Nothing's not at sea. You're starting to see this is all composed material and all has water in it and oil. You can pull oil out of a tree. It's in a tree. You're just waiting for it to get under the ground, but you can cut a tree down and petrify it and extract oil. You know, you see what I mean? We're not being taught right.
We're in a liquid, layered thing.
Density. Think about like a sound wave, okay? Like a song. In the sense of music, you have to start applying music to this and understanding music, and that's where I get kind of confused because I have no formal training in bar reading and best, you know. So you're getting your skin and you vibrate the same density of carbon as the ground and a tree. It's the same. That's why you're resulting in the same color, soil color, the complexion of the vibration. See. Color expresses the density vibration. You're not dense. You're just a sack of water. You're nothing. Nothing. You're just a container with water in it. It's just like a balloon, a bottle of water. You're not the bottle.
You ever been
not the water inside either? Huh?
You ever been standing in fog and you try to see something and you just try to look harder? You look really hard. Gotta look through the fog. That's how I feel. Every once in a while, I'll catch a glimpse. I mean, I get the idea. I see some vague shapes. It's so interesting.
I'm swimming on the other side, brother. I've been in this a minute. So for me, it's easy to talk about. I see it one way. You know, what the hell is this guy talking about? Because there's a lot of metaphysics. If you don't understand metaphysical terms and you don't have any kind of a spiritual understanding, you won't understand a lot of this. It'll be way over your head.
Well, I will say that I do have a huge struggle with the metaphysical and trying to balance it with the physical and that which I can actually see, touch, feel, hear, and experience without having to delve too much into the metaphysical. So I do struggle with that. So maybe that's where my hang up is.
So,
or at least one of many hang ups.
Well, the concept of truth really bugged me as a young person. It really bothered me a lot. I left myself with a question and I couldn't find it. And what is truth? A real simple question. What is truth? What is it? What is the truth? So I'm looking around and everybody said, oh, Christian. I'm saying, oh, okay, Christian is the truth. Well, how come there's 2,000 opinions? There's only one truth. That was my epiphany, was, whoa, there's only one truth. Not 2,000. Those are egos. Those are opinions from somebody that put something on paper. Interpretations, opinions, ego, translation. So once I had that understanding, I had to go, I said, well, what the hell do numbers mean then? See what I mean? At 30 years old, I'm asking myself, what the hell do numbers actually mean? I've been in sales and marketing.
Only what you use them for.
Right, my whole life. And I'm looking at them at a whole new light now, and I'm looking at them like Matrix style, and I'm like, what do they actually mean metaphysically to the world that we, how do they apply? And I came up with what I call the law about numbers in that sense, in this relation. I actually put it on a board, and I keep this on my wall. I wrote it a long time ago. So 1 is the circle, but when we talk about 360, there is no 0, so you're talking about 36, and you're talking about 36 points or 360 points, depending on how your mind wants to handle it. But realize that it's a point value instead of a number value. So now you're looking at shapes instead of actual physical numbers. You're looking at shapes of things. You with me there?
I am with you. Yes, I got you there.
So when you walk from nothing to something, you go from 1. 1 is the whole circle, and then the only way you can have more than the whole is a half. You have to cut it in half. So 2 is 180, and that's a half a circle, 180 degrees. But yeah, still the numbers add to 9. 36 is 9. 1 and 8 is 9. Not interesting. At 3 points, the 120 degrees, and that's atom. Atom, atom, atom. And we're talking about atom, the atom that we're living inside of. Atom, which is you, to atom, which is the atom that you can't see. So you're talking about a micro to macro connection right there, which is 3. And then you can see the positive, negative, and neutral, which is 3. The red, blue, and yellow, which is 3. It goes all back to that alchemy state. Everything is under the laws of 3. And number 4 is talking about time and space, and it's actually direction, or you can look at it as seasons, direction, north, south, east, and west, or spring, summer, winter, fall. Direction. Seasons. And that's 90-degree circle. That's 4 parts of a circle. 90 and 4 is 36, 360 degrees. It's a sphere. See how the spherical relations happen then? It's creating these spherical spheres inside of spheres. These are rings. You're counting down, these are all rings.
And the way the eyeball works is supposed to be like little rods in it, right? So why don't we do? Why aren't any of the drawings have any little circles all over in them?
Why do mine not have those?
Yeah,
because
we can get a better aspect.
When you go deeper, you just realize there's no circle. It's just more fractal 3. You just start getting into a deeper state of fractals. The deeper you go,
so it's not exactly a circle. It's like more of a honeycomb 8, or
That's why the honeycomb is being expressed, or the egg. They're just very simple. They're actually very simple constructs to make. This is some really complicated, time-consuming mathematics. Sometimes some of these pieces take me a half a day. I have one in the other room that took me a week. Just because of the amount of time that it requires to sit down and do the work. It's a lot of time to do the work. I don't want to sit down and do it all at once, so I break it up. But some of them equations are very complex. But then to me, they're not. But to everybody else, it'd be mind-boggling. I wouldn't even know what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, everything's turned. Like I said, everything's turning into itself. We had a geologist that came on, and even he was talking about drilling into the ground, and it states that when I also experienced drilling oil. I have a couple years out on the oil patch. I drilled for oil for a little bit, so I have firsthand knowledge being out there. So that's different. I have a lot of experience in construction and being in people's homes doing sales and marketing. So just being out and on the road and roaming and building stuff and just all over the place. So been in at a lot of people's homes and seeing all this stuff. It's just, for me, it's just become like a repetitive program. I see it. Everybody has a base 12 of personalities and 12 signs. Just got different shading for the face and different shading for the eyes and different shading for the color. And you got 12 different, see what I mean? It's SimCity. It's a hologram. I'm talking to myself right now. We're all plugged into the same brain. I'm really just talking to myself. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to Adam. There's only one Adam. There's a tomb. We're in a tomb that was created by matter, which is actually water. And the sound created the construct that we're inside of. It burst and created this bubble, dome, whatever you want to call it, shape. You can go generic. It's called a shape. The sound created the shape that we're inside of. That's the science of it. That's how they're getting you backwards. Is it wasn't from an explosion of force. It was from an implosion of force. So everything's coming to the center and pushing out. And that's how you get your toroidal math instead of this other stuff. They're flipping it upside down and on your face. That's why you go and look at Hollywood. They're covering the right eye. Why are they covering the right eye? Because it's attached to your moonan and your creation eye. And they're mocking you, sticking your tongue out. Ugh, sticking your tongue out. It makes me want to punch them in the face. I don't even watch TV anymore. I didn't turn it on.
Hollywood is real.
I don't even turn it on.
So my idea of the Earth being a toroidal donut with 33 suns, that's pretty close then.
Well, watch this, like 1080p. What's that? What does that even mean? Okay, what does that mean? Technically, you techie, somebody techie, what's 1080p? It's about what? Current of the TV, the monitor. What's it relate to?
Just the refresh rate. There's a roster rate. There's a word for it. Is that it?
Pixels.
What kicks off in my brain is it's 360 times 3.
Oh wow! Yeah, there you go. See, you're the math guy though.
How about 720? See what I just showed you? So your 1080 is a thirds of the circle. The fractals those are thirds inside the circle. They're not outside it. They're inside it. Measurements inside of it.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why you should not drink alcohol at a young age, because you'll end up like me.
I don't drink.
I drank a lot at a very young age. And
my mother was an addict.
I'm going to blame that on me being dense right now and me being slow.
Well, admittedly, I'm on some of this with you. I've done a lot of, reading on frequencies. I used the water analogy earlier this morning or yesterday morning, whenever that was, on our show. We're talking about the frequency and how it just vibrational frequency changes water from ice to steam to liquid. So put that to our bodies, put that to our reality. And then the whole idea of one, we are one, and we're all just different holographic fractals of each other. And all of these ideas, I've looked into them, but you've taken it and joined it into a huge matrix that my brain just is still grappling with, for sure.
I'm sitting at home with this. Help me, somebody.
I bet that's a lot to have to burden.
Tweety birds, man. I want to fucking string up and hang myself because all I get is Tweety birds. I've seen people sharing more shit for Kim Kardashian. I mean, look at the shit I'm showing you. And she's getting more hits. I want to string up in the closet. I cry. I want to go string, but I don't. But the thoughts in my head,
what we're all doing. What we do here, what you guys do on this channel, what we're doing on Iron Rim Media. We have a very low group of not low. The subscriber rate is not big, and then they have the channels that are just putting out idiocy and drama, and they have. It's the same idea. People don't want, they don't want thinky pain. They want to put that dull hum into their brain so they can just glaze away and entrain.
Right. I mean,
distracted,
you guys, I just showed you that great big chart.
Mm-hmm.
It affects your brain right now. I don't know any of you. I have a psychology to prove on something that you had an emotional impact on you on the inside out. It's like, whoa. Am I right?
Probably before that chart came out, but yes.
There's a reason why. Because your heart is tuned to be true. See? That's why they tell you to be true to your heart. Because your heart is tuned to be true.
That's beautiful. I like that.
So, when you're seeing truth for the first time and you've never been shown it or never been told it, your heart is going to go wham, and you're going to feel it.
Amen.
And whoa! It's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're going to resonate with it because it is the truth, and your heart is tuned to the truth, just like the Emerald Tablets of Thoth say they are. You are a tuning fork, a frequency.
Wow.
Current based.
Well, you're saying something that's ringing true for me. When I've been on a truth path my life long and had that feeling in minor doses here and there, but when flat Earth hit me in that spot, it set me on fire and became just drive to get out and know and learn more enough to where then I could take it out and make people see it and make it hit them and knock them in that little spot, to literally that dropping away in the pit of your stomach and your whole soul blooms out to like, wow, there's more going on than I even had a clue about. And I thought I had a pretty good beat on things.
One of my favorite jokes that show people, you know what the difference between a rich man, what a rich man and a poor man have in common? What do they have in common?
What do they have in common?
That's the best one. Their time. They both have their time. Yeah.
They do have that in common.
Yes,
Both
sir.
have the time. I got to ask a lot of questions. Got a lot of answers. I had the time to ask them, and I answered them.
That's it.
Hey, we're gonna have to run. We got to go do some show prep.
Speaking of time,
for the Friday show coming. Yeah. So this has been great, Karen. Thank you so much for inviting us on.
I thank you, Karen.
It was so great to meet you, Matt. My goodness, thank you for all this. And man, we definitely at length. You have access to our information right here through Karen. So get with us. We thank you so much. And everybody else that we didn't actually get a second to say hey to on the panel. I know we've talked to some of you guys before. Thank you all for letting us come in and hang out with you guys.
I also have
so
a
much, Karen.
display just so you guys can go check it out and visually see a lot more, just you know how it is with these pictures and video feeds. But yeah, I'm in on Facebook. Yeah, I'm in. That's a public display of all my work. I don't even know what to do with it. This is what I do with some board. And it needs to be used. And I just like, no one's listening. And like, we would not have to pay for electricity, man.
Matt, can you spell that for me?
YAHEYEMAN. Yeah, I man. Yeah, I man. That's my Facebook public display where my work is. Like, I try to post everything I display. I try to put it all there, so you can, like a running public diary. So I don't know, it's crossing with my regular profile. You never know who you're gonna run into. Makes it easier, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah, I understand.
So try. I'm doing what I can. You know.
I don't like the Matrix idea. Like the, you know what I mean? I don't like the idea of like the virtual reality thing. It's like
I don't like it either. I feel like I'm King Kong or Hulk, and I got the keys, and I want to break the walls. I'm like, this is it. Look, what? It's right here.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, but it's like, what is it? And like, does any of that really matter though? Like to anybody? I mean, like, You know what I mean? Like if you never knew a number or worried about a number in your life, did that help you?
Yes. Yes, it did actually. Because what it allowed me to do is see that I was a part of a greater whole. It changed my opinion on things and my eyes and perspective. It changes your perspective. When you realize what you are and where you come from, it changes how you look at things and how you think.
Your mom and your dad.
Which ones? Where did they come from?
Their mom and dad.
And it goes back to 2.
Which goes back to 2 more, 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 which goes back to 2 more.
Until there was only 2 that didn't have any belly buttons because they were the first 2. They didn't have belly buttons.
That's the question at hand, you know. Where did everybody, you know, where were the first ones that started the first ones? And if we have a creator, who created our creator, and how did our creator get created? You know.
Right. Right. Everything comes right. Right.
But here's the thing.
But what
can anyone ever really answer that?
All I can actually show you is the action. I can show you the action. I can go, bang, this is what happened right when it started to where we're at right now. This is the action. This is how it happened. Can't argue with it. That's what it is. It is what it is. That is what it is. As far as names, titles, places, blah, 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 it's all blah, blah, blah to me. I know the sound and shape of things, and that was all my heart's content mattered to me.
Well, you know how they explain the 3D stuff, like on a game, and they tell you the graphical people, like, make the design or whatever. They put everything into the front spectrum of what's going on, not the behind. Like, so everything in front of you is where everything is focused and not from the behind. You know what I mean? But in reality, we know someone can come up behind us and punch us, or we can get hit by a car, or something can happen behind that's like really there. It can really do something, you know. Just because we're not looking at it behind us doesn't mean that stuff's not existing and can't happen with us involved. So that, to me, like, blows the whole theory of like a 3D type perception from somebody else's image point of view. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, we have a 360 perception of everything around us. It's all existing everywhere. It's not really like a, you know, the way a lot of scientists try to explain their idea of it. It's not really a 3D holographical.
No, it's many layers. Yeah. Your body's got 12 dimensions to it. You know, your body has you have 12 different operating systems in your own body. And through this micro to macro mathematical relationship I'm showing you, from atom to atom, it's all in the same shape, just different scales of size and spheres based on density. And that density is the vibration, the resonance, the sound of that object. And that sound wave will be expressed a certain way, and that frequency will be the color of it and its vibrational state in the 3 states: positive, negative, neutral. It's one of those 3. Red, blue, or yellow. Poof.
Oh, we've lost Iron Realm. Did they actually have to go then? Sorry, someone called me.
Oh.
Did they have to leave then?
Yeah, I guess they're going.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they said goodbye and they had to go.
Yeah. But yeah, you see how that's like that color, it creates a string. The color creates a string. It creates a tether line through all of it. You can follow it. You can scientifically track it down and follow it physically.
Right. But my stance is, like, from my point of view, I think, like, all of it's just like in the way. It's kind of like they murky up the waters. Okay, think about all the words, even the word, even like everything I'm talking about right now has been created by us, you know. So the ideas of everything are just whatever idea we place to it, you know. So the idea of truth is like You know, when you said what is truth, it's like, what is anything? Like, what is, you know?
Right. And
you know,
where my
we give everything its basis. So what I'm saying is if we don't really need to rely on a lot of this stuff, we don't need like to go and do and like to, you know, all this crazy stuff. We don't need it. It's unneeded in that aspect.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we automatically go to the way that we do need to be? If we realize all this stuff that we don't need and we're like, man, we don't really need.
Which is why I'm trying to show people this stuff. And that's been my top thing, is making people realize you're just trading your soul energy, your current, your time, for trinkets that you're probably going to throw in the trash, consume, or you didn't need in the first place. You're trading your soul time. You're trading your soul for trinkets.
Yeah.
Because your time is money.
Well, your time is what you have. It's all you have. It's your limit of being here, like an hourglass. Once your time's
you only
gone,
have now.
yeah, your sand is done. Yeah.
And you're only in the now.
Yeah, everyone's only in the now. That's another trick too, that there's, you know, something you can do back in the past or worry about something that's happening tomorrow or whatever. Today is what is. What today begets tomorrow, if that makes any sense. Like whatever is going on right now is tomorrow in a way, you know.
Exactly.
But it's all right now. Right now is what matters. Exactly. Yeah, you can't be like, oh, my egg's and think about 10 years from now, because every second could be your last second.
Right, and that's why I've been spending my time figuring this out, because I'm like, shit, I think we're running out of time. So this is important to me. This needs to be done. I need to get this done before I go. This is my
Every
task.
person is running out of time. As soon as they're born, they have a time limit. I don't know how long it is. It could be 300. Who knows? But there's a limit.
I just want to get this job done before I go. This is my job before I go. I'm gonna have it all color coded, and I have it all color coded. I have every number down to like 200. It's kind of crazy. Been at this since I was 6 years old, man. It's very easy for me.
I know exactly what you're talking about and the perspective you're coming from, but I just think it's all like to me, I think it's a ploy to like, hey, you guys, we know so much more than you. We're so much this, we're that, we know this, we do this. Anybody that sits down and looks at something for, not necessarily, I'm not really talking about you, but like say a master mason or something. They're going to be a master mason of it because of what they've been taught and what they've learned through like what they're doing, their actions and what they're learning. Like what, you know, when they actually take part in like opening up whatever and looking at whatever, you know, even then what they see compared to what you would see is still going to be different. So the idea of what is or how does this work, you're going to explain how it works a different way than I am, even though we're both looking at the same nerve or the same eyeball or the same heart, or you know what I mean?
Which is perspective, which is why people need clarification.
Right. It's all perspective.
Yeah.
Like, do you need to worry about this? Do you need to worry about money? Do you need to worry about this and that and politics and this and that?
I don't even turn it on anymore, man. I don't vote. You know? Oh.
Who votes, Matt? Who votes? Who votes anymore? I'm not voting.
No, I said I don't vote. Yeah, no. I mean, it's all playing the game. When you do anything that's participating in this, you're investing your time, and that's what they want, your time. They want you to worry and fear and invest your time, and I'm not jumping ropes.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. They try to implement more of your time from you than what you can, like for.
So I should tell them and show people how they're trying to control your time. You know, and how left wing and right wing, it's being pulled by the same bird.
Oh, it always has been. I'm not even sure Rome was real in the aspect that people think like a time in history and
no, it's a mafia. It's a dope house.
Well, I think it's more like you were explaining, like a construct of mind.
Yeah. Well, they realized
the Incas. The
Yeah, they
Mayas,
realized-
the Aztecs, all those little groups, even to the Vatican today.
Yeah. Well, the Vatican today is Rome. It has never not been Rome. You know, Britain is the capital. Britannicus was the capital of Rome. It was a district. It was a district of Rome. In the old days, it was a district of it.
Who controls like groups of people? Religions, military, or the money?
The money controls all things, and the
Money, religion, military. Well, military might can overrule money too. You know, depend. You know, if you're surrounded by 50 people and they're like, "Give me your money," you're pretty much going to give it up or die. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, the people's power is really actually over everything. That's the truth.
It is the truth.
And the aspect of like, oh, here, you be a part of this, or you be a part of that, or you're all damn a part of people already. You're already a part of something. You're already something that you are.
You're already Adam. You're already Adam. Oh, that's my greatest. That's great. It's Adam family values.
What about the word atone, like an atonement?
Yeah, no, it's Adam family values. Atum, Adam, atom, autumn, the season. It's autumn family
Kinda
values.
like
Adam family values.
Like
Adam's
a
family values.
prison cell, like in a way,
Like a Russian, like yeah, cells in a cell, rings in a cell, rings in a cell, 9 rings in a cell. There you go, 9 rings in a cell.
So to me, if you worry about all these, I don't know. I don't like being in a cell. I don't like the way they put things and the way stuff's put together and the way they do stuff, because to me it like goes back to the mind aspect. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was showing. You don't have to jump. If you're presented with a situation, you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to get out of your chair. The house could be burning. Getting out of your chair is a choice. You know, it's as simple as that. Getting out of your chair in a burning house, that's a choice. You don't even have to leave the house. You can burn. You can let yourself burn. That's a choice. You may not make that choice, but it's a choice. Everything's a choice. It's Sim City. Going left, going right, blue shirt, black shirt, brown shirt. What shirt am I going to wear?
And a big enough group, a big enough group of people with the same idea, following the same little whatever. That's a church. That's a saying something. I mean, regardless of what it is, a church, a religion, a political movement, like a party, a committee, a family that's big enough, it's just a group, a big enough group. Yeah. They actually have push and like say if they all communicate the same and try to come together. That's the strongest thing.
Recruit, because the only thing that's important is energy and time. Controlling your time. Keep you in a fear state. Somebody needs help and they come across my path. They need help. They asking me, I'll help them because they came across my path and they came into my reality. They asked for help. I'll help them. None of that crap out there matters because I don't.
Yeah, wars can't be won in the air or with other stuff. They have to be won like hand to hand or mind to mind. They have to be like actually.
Well, I've been since I figured this workout, I've been dumping it onto platforms everywhere. Just changing their icons, changing their logos. I don't know what else to do. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little peanut trying to put a thorn in somebody's butt, the right butt. Whose butt? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm trying to ring some bells. You're not being shown correctly. A lot of things. And reality is different, way different than what we're being presented. Through this understanding, we could have power in our home without fuel or our line. No lines, no wires. Levitation, flying, transportation, that's what this means. It means looking at cancer as a vibrational state of matter, then realizing how to get rid of it because of that one fact right there. so you can cause bodies to reset and kill cancer cells inside the body by adjusting sound waves. Most all of our cancers today are actually military patented prototypes, biological warfare. AIDS, Lyme disease, all that shit is divinely developed by our own government to kill us.
Yeah, it's all to try and somehow kill us, isn't it?
We're the enemy of the state.
I need that
Control.
We're the enemy of the state, and they're always watching you.
Yeah, it's like control. It's kill, steal, destroy, control, whatever means necessary.
Google is Skynet. Google is Skynet. It's pre-Skynet. Google is Skynet.
Religion, television, media, the military-industrial complex, the secret services, they're all connected.
Yeah, it's all one. It's all one.
And it's all to hide what flat Earth is and how it works. And
The word night, the word night, it means land connector. It means to connect people from one land to another. That's what a night is to go and like do the work of the king or queen and the army and like go ahead and like make communications with those people and like to until you can like either become them or overthrow them. You know,
I come from a family of magicians and magi.
Yeah,
That's
they
musicians.
deal with the eyes a lot, magicians and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Saint Germain is in my family tree. Saint Germain, Tesla is in my family tree. They're both in my family tree. Come from a family of wizards, magicians, mathematicians.
Well, it has to do with time and the perspective of the eyeball. The oldest, the really old, I don't know how far they go back, but they were people that took apart the eyeball and they were trying to see how the brain, the eye, the connection. Yes. And they tried to see the connection, and like for a long time, they like studied that, like for a long time.
Here's a harmonic resonance picture I drew.
Yes, it resembles a picture of an eyeball.
Hey, Trotters has just joined us. Michael, hello.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hello. Do you know Dem, by the
I
way?
know Dem. Yeah, I know him.
And you like Matt, don't you? You know Matt, and you know FPV, and you know Patricia.
Yes, Matt, what's good, brother?
Hey, man.
All right, FPV. All right, everybody's here.
I was just showing this earlier. This is what you missed.
Oh, it's colored. Or is this something we haven't seen yet, but now it's colored, or what?
This is Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
Oh, I do see it, yeah.
Hang on. I'll present him for a minute.
Yeah, I can't really see. I want to get it center screen for you guys. I'm kind of hold it there.
Extraordinary. Good stuff, Matt.
This is what Thoth was speaking of when you listen to the words of it.
It resembles the perspective of how you see the stars and how it makes that design. You know, when your eyes look at it, like if you take a time-lapse photography of the stars, it looks like a tube or a funnel, or like you're looking down a straw.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, do you see how you look at? Yeah, it looks like you're looking down in through something.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
This was a lot of work. This goes on my wall.
Yeah, why not?
I think what it's explaining is that focal point is in everybody's mind. through their eye, the focal point comes and makes the information, and they get the image or the picture.
Yeah, exactly. We're strung right to the eye of the moon, which is the sun. Because they're telling it to us backwards. And they're getting us moon-eyed for money.
Yo, yeah, good. I see the connection.
And you're being forced to write with your right hand, which is your red eye, and your left. See, it's your left eye that operates your right hand. That's your sun eye. Your left eye is your sun eye, but you're being moon-eyed. Well, your right eye, that's why Hollywood, they cover their right eye and they stick their tongue at you because they're mocking the creative eye, creation's eye, the moon's eye. The left-hand path is for the fool and the moony and the moon children and all the money.
It makes sense, bro. Good stuff.
And the impulses that we're being fed into our head from commercialisms is to make us jump like little codfish on the meta ocean because we're mentally fish, because we haven't been really taught numbers in a spherical plane. That's why I was showing you the difference right out the gate. You see how hard this is to explain to someone that's been taught linear math versus spherical math, that difference?
Yeah.
Worlds away from each other.
Literally. Right.
We're in the same freaking room.
Yep.
Whoop. Whoa. His world's way cooler than mine. I like this shit. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yay! Woo! I'm not conned and fused in a state of Babel and Babylon anymore. Blah. I'm not a sheep. See? You like that one? We're in a state of confusion, which is Babel.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they put our mind. So we babble and we move on. We babble on.
Yeah.
That's where we are. We're in Babylon. We're a bunch of people that babble and we move around. We're babbling on. And we're being moon-eyed and fish-hooked mentally all the time with commercials, radio ads, advertisements, peer pressure, slogans on television, T-shirts. All that crap is designed to fill your eyes full of pew and shit.
Yep.
It has no value. None of it. They're taking symbols of creation and turn them into consumer symbols and logos. And cause you to be fearful of a lot of things, especially when it refers to the dragon. People are afraid of dragons. All the ancients were referring to was current. Motion. There's a current that holds everything together. There's a dragon that holds everything together. There's a serpent. It's water. The water is a serpent, is a dragon, and it's binding everything together. That you'll find it being told to you a little bit differently, but watching it in hieroglyphs is really cool. There's, if you go on YouTube, type in the story of creation by Ra, the Ra creation story.
Mm-hmm.
There's nice animation there. The guy used the hieroglyphs to express the story and tried to translate them into English the best they could. The audio it's a very old audio, very old, 70s, so it's kind of, you'll have to be patient with the sound of it. It kind of weirded me out because it's kind of slow.
Right.
But the animation, gold. The animation is gold. Just understanding the metaphysical aspects of what they were showing you with the hieroglyphs. Because our ancestors also were not allowed to keep a form of written language because we're slaves. We're property. We're surety. We don't own nothing. Everything's registered. You're registered. You registered your children. You registered your guns. You registered your house. You don't own anything. What do you own? Nothing. You don't own nothing. So what are you working for? So I ask people all the time, you don't own nothing. What are you working for? Don't pay taxes to take your box and everything in it.
Yep.
You don't own nothing.
We're just all slaves. Freedom's an illusion.
Right. Yeah.
All bullshit, man.
False
reality.
Usury. That's an ancient word, right? Usury.
Yeah.
Or usurper. Usurper. That's what it means. Is usury. Usurper. Usury. That's the ancient word for it. See.
Mm-hmm.
That's That's them. That's the money men. They're the usurpers. That's what that means. That's the translation from them to today. The bankers. They just changed the words. Renamed all the characters. Played charades and musical chairs with the names of people, places, and changed the color of things. Changed the color of the law. See? Changed the color of the law. Put us under the law of the water without us even knowing we're on water. But their interpretation of it, because we didn't even know they were saying we were on it. Playing a fool's game of mockery with us in our minds. Bend us to their sound intent of the spelling of their sounds in a language that's very crafty. How do you spell craft? Which way are you spelling? Way. Which way?
Right. Which way?
Or hair. Hair. Yeah. Pull my hair out. Which way? This is how they manipulate your mind, is the spelling intent of the sound of the words. Whatever the situation, they're going to always try to interpret the benefit, the outcome to their own self. They're going to try to turn it to benefit them every time, regardless of whatever it is. That's their belief system. To spell the sound intent of the word however they want to benefit themselves. That's some freaky shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You're not going to hear that in Sunday school.
It's all manipulation, but you're right, brother. Spot on, Matt.
You're not going to be taught this.
No.
No one wants you to know this. And I went to try to find a job where I could work without feeling guilty. Right?
Right.
I couldn't find one.
You're not going to find one, no.
I had a stroke over it. Couldn't find a job where I could do something and make a living being moral. Couldn't find one. And I'm sitting here talking to you because of that. Couldn't find one. I'm broken. I'm on disability. My hands are all fucking shot. And I'm trying to teach this math out to keep it from dying and just being with just one.
Right.
This is hidden, man. I went through hell and back to figure this out. I died for this and came back with it. Literally. I see it. I see that whole line. I see every part of it. Right there. From the micro to the macro, it's right there. Like being under a microscope in my own head. It's crazy. It's a lonely existence. I can't relate to nobody. My family doesn't come around. I don't get to see my kids because my ex-wife says I'm fucking crazy. Try to get me put on it. I am getting Social Security halfway because of this. Guy's a Mason. Either put up or shut up. Well, they put up to shut me up. See?
Yeah.
My back's broke. Then I started showing. I said, "We're living in a fucking box." I started showing them the Pythagorean math. And he fucking bug-eyed, his face turned white. Gave me my fucking disability, labeled me A-okay. Here you go. He's great with numbers, but he's not okay for society.
That's wild, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I sit here in this little quieted box. They attack my mainstream. I'm not allowed. I can't even put up a live feed on my Facebook right now.
Yeah. So they
pulled down my posts. They pull down my posts. I put stuff up. They pull it down because I understand this binary color code. I found it by a natural state. They already know this. There's no way they don't. This is so childish. It's ridiculous. To me, you know? I'm like, once people started looking at this stuff, it's really not that complicated. I can't be the only one. Maybe. I hope the hell not. That's scary shit if it is. That's
people that,
scary fucking mountain.
Like your work and understand.
Yeah, it is.
Because I've been through the books of Enoch. I've been through, you know, and that's where it was right there. It's all in Enoch. It's all in Thoth. All of this. It's all being hidden from us, how to use it. But by using logic and this color code, you can figure out the state of everything and how they all relate. You don't need it. You don't need what they had. This is what they had. This is it. It's that. But we have to figure out in our own term. Now we have the numbers and the color code to figure this out into our own names and shit. Whatever the hell the terms are you guys go to school for, you school fishers. I have it, the elemental table. It's in my chart. It's in my box over here. But they all have numerical color codings. It's written all over the thing. I see the honeycomb in it. I see it right in my head. Mm-hmm. I have thousands of pictures, man. Some of the things I've put out have people mentally breaking down. They're mentally breaking down. Just sight unseen. That's amazing. In my mind, that's amazing. As the author and the creator and the writer of these things, the vibrator of these things into existence, to watch people having mental breakdowns over my work. Wow. I don't know what to think about that.
You're getting people to think, man. It's good.
So, wham! I'm just watching this. I'm crying over it. I have a lot of, I've had a lot of people bug me about it. But it's about the understanding that this is being hidden. That's why I bell ring. It's not that I want to be this freaking public figure. I don't want to be. And that's what makes me angry. It says I don't want to be famous. I don't want to make money. I'm perfectly happy sitting on my ass, smoking weed, and not talking to anybody. Because that's the life I was given, and I'm perfectly content with it. I don't want nothing in this shithole. It's all manipulation anyway.
It's all a freaking lie, exactly.
You've been captain gowned to Saturn, and you've been sold a J-hook and fed a fucking emotional fish story, got you hooked. You swallowed it like a little fish and reeled you into a fake sense of reality to cube you in to Saturn, which is Santa, which is Satan. Have a nice day. Boom!
Yep.
We just don't follow through or are too scared to finish the equation because we don't want to hear the truth. Because sometimes the truth is scarier than the fiction. Mark Twain said that. One of those great guys I read. I like Mark Twain. He's funny. Very funny. He said, truth lays outside of what the realm of known is, and all things are possible out there. All things are possible outside of form of what we decide is truth. Who decides what's truth? What is their intent? Are they in it for themselves, or what are they doing? Trying to control you? Prey on you with an E? Cain and Abel, cannibal? They're eating you. They're preying on you. Cannibals. See? They're wolves in sheepskin preying on you. Did I write that? No. Did I decode it? Yes. That's what the hell he's talking about. They're preying on you like parasites.
Right on, Matt. You're right, brother.
It's driving me nuts, man. Driving me nuts. The sound of this, understanding this and what they're doing, I sit here and I don't know what the hell to do. All I do is yell at you.
That's it.
Ah, this is maddening. Numbers don't travel on a line. Sound doesn't travel on a line. Please show me which way sound goes and how to count a 0. You know what I mean? You know, and once you get there, what's not moving hues, spectrums of light, hues, what's not moving hues of red, blue, and yellow? You know, I showed you the numbers earlier. What's not right there? What's not red, yellow, and blue? What's not one of them 3 colors? That's the all wheel. This is what Thoth says. When you understand the full circle of knowledge, this when he's talking about the full circle of knowledge, this is the full circle of knowledge. There's no fucking square. There's no fucking circle. There's only triangles. This is unifying many. What this does is it unifies all religions, really, because they're all saying the same thing. It's how this all interprets. It's just language and the names of things that have us infighting and killing each other. We're all saying the same things, but giving them different names. But yet you're all doing the wrong things because you're worshiping this world and not honoring the sound of the whole thing. You're only honoring the material, what the eye can see, and the flesh, the body, of the clothing and the crap you're wearing, what you're chasing, trinkets, spending your time on. Ding, fries are done, right? That was some crazy shit, wasn't it, for a first timer?
Good stuff, bro.
It's what you decide it is, you know? You don't have to be blue about anything. You don't have to be red about anything. You don't have to like it. You don't have to hate it. The minute you decide it's something, you're judging it. You made a choice. You're getting out of the chair. You made a choice. You labeled it. Your perspective has now gone that way. You didn't stay neutral. See? See what happens? You judged it. And if you're Christian, you're not supposed to judge anything. Nothing. You're just a witness. What does a witness physically do?
Observe.
Can't feel any kind of way about anything, can you? That's it. See how they're manipulating and understanding what the Bible is actually trying to show you, and what they're telling you. Its true intent and what they're telling you. They're government agents spying on you, misinterpreting the information to control you. They get federal funding. Why do you think they get federal funding? Why do you think there's no conservative protest groups? The church is bought out. You never hear a middle conservative voice saying anything against somebody that's a bad candidate for anything. See what I mean? No one ever speaks the middle. Red or blue? No purple.
No,
Yeah.
purple. I
That's
don't
right there
even
in the
think
middle.
many people think about like the colours, do they? You know, like you don't even think every day. Oh, this colour's this colour and this colour put together. You know, no one thinks anymore. No
No,
one thinks about anything much.
no.
I mean, like just a slight difference. Like there's words here, like some towns. It's called Hungerford. So the ford at the end, Hungerford, was the fact that that town had water around it. You know, there's a ford. But people don't drive through Hungerford and think, hey, there's a waterfall here. What I mean is there's a lot of history lost. Like
How about
Inkpen
how
is
about
a little
River
village.
or River
So there were
Banks?
sheep, farming.
River
People don't think. It's
Banks.
like we don't know what anything means anymore. We don't care.
The banks are on the water. River Banks. You find most banks are on the water. River banks. Go walk around town. Which bank's on the water? They do it everywhere. It's all colored. It's horrible.
Yeah,
It's horrible. It's horrible once you realize it. It's repetitive programming and
we need another dictionary, don't we? We need another dictionary.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible because this is natural. I'm like, oh, they're trying to fish hook you and put you in a Saturn box. And blah, blah, and people look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? I just understand what their psychology is. It's like, ooh, this is what they're doing. Because they're trying to trick you away from the moon because there is no sun. The sunlight is a refraction of the moonlight. I was showing you that earlier. There is no sun. When you walk back through Bang and see it, there's no sun. It's a result of the point in the middle. So it's expressing from the center. Those 2 points are light refractions. They're nothing. Just like a flashlight on the wall. It's not even there. It's the result of something else. Isn't that crazy? That's where it is. That's what this is. Everything is that, and they tell us that cartoons and everything. SpongeBob SquarePants. You're living at the bottom of the dense ion sea. There you go. That's what it is. You're living at the bottom of the dense ion sea. That bikini on it, and you're being fished by big pharma. Being farmed. You're being farmed. Go look up pharmacy in the dictionary. You're being poisoned. Look it up. Look it up in the dictionary. You won't be taking pills anymore. Go look it up. Slow metal toxins. Go look it up. I'm sure that's good for you. As an ex-insurance agent, fluoride is in every pill. They're trying to block your brain up. That ain't good for you, naturally. It's not good for you. It's not good for your health. It's not health care. They're trying to fucking kill you. They're poisoning you. And that's attempted murder. To poison someone is a murder. They're trying to fucking kill you. What the hell? We're living in a rat box and they're trying to poison you and kill you. Because you were insured and bonded the day you were born. You were incorporated with your birth certificate as a corporation. They insured and bonded us. And they operate your name as a corporation on the world trade market. It's valued and registered and insured. And they use you as a usury. And they maneuver you. They buy and sell and trade you. It's disgusting. Your ass is being traded on the market right now. Yep. That's what them red numbers are in your birth certificate. That's your TDA account number. It's Treasury Direct account. Your property. They trade you. And your silence is your consent. They're saying you agreed to it. You signed up for it is what they're saying. but you didn't sign up for it. Your mother tricked you into it. Your silence is your consent. Your mother conned you into it. They conned your mother into signing you away under duress. You weren't even physically born yet. You weren't a minor, not an adult. You didn't sign a contract. Your silence is consent. You didn't sign a contract. Immigrants sign a contract when they come here. You didn't sign one. See this? You don't even know what the rules are. They don't teach you the history books. They teach you an edited narrative. It's not true at all. And a lot of science is inaccurate. So you're going to get results that are not optimal. They're not they're not in your best interest. It's not in their best interest for you to understand what I just showed you a minute ago. They don't want you to know this stuff. You know this stuff and you won't need them. You won't need money. You won't need a friggin' power grid. You'll be able to fly around on a hoverboard of your own making. You won't need nothing. Nothing. You don't need nothing. You don't need them. You don't need machines. You don't need to be a machine mind. You're being cut off from your heart. You're being cut off from source. They're trying to blind you deeper into the matrix by giving you new shiny stuff. And then they're going to mandate it that you're going to take a binary chip and computerized money. And then before you know it, are you your thoughts or are your thoughts you? Are they putting thoughts in you? Where'd you go? If you're your thoughts, then where'd you go? They took over your thoughts. Now what? Now you're just a monkey doing whatever they tell you to because they're programming your thoughts. They're putting the thoughts in your head. Making you metaphysical puppets on leashes, mental leashes that you don't even know are there. Because they're implanting these images and these sounds in your head by putting them in the music and putting them in the commercials, pictures and pictures, sound waves and sound waves, all this stuff. It's being done to manipulate your mind so they form you to their will. That's why I shut my TV off. That's why I do everything. I make my meals at home. I don't trust nothing out there, really. The more I can control in my own hands, the less they can influence me. I'm taking back independence that way. I don't need these corporations for nothing. They're all services and technology that you don't need, and it is outdated and it's not valued what you paid for it a month later. Was it worth trading your time for in the first place? Look how much money goes into tech and they keep changing it. Because we got this whole keep up with our neighbors mentality. So they just give you something a little bit newer with a fancy new button or the screen's a little bigger. And then they advertise the thing all over again like it's new. You all mood-eyed. You got to go out and make more money so you buy that new phone. Did you need the phone in the first place? Did you really need it? Did you need the 3 other ones you threw out? Look at all that debt. Stacks up quick, don't it? Pretty disgusting, isn't it? It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, well, what we live in is pretty disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Anybody, any kids that are really smart, some of you guys was talking about, I don't know who was saying it earlier, any smart kids, they put them in these companies and they give them demeaning jobs. They put them in office cubicles where they don't accomplish or make anything happen because they're boxing them into a form. They're not allowing them to use their minds, creativity, and free will. They're trying to take it away from you, your moon eye, your creative eye, who's attached to creation and source. The other one's ego, self, the flesh, The sun is this world that doesn't even exist. It's just a hologram. And it's all based on your feelings, because you attract the frequencies around you based on your emotions. They tie together. You're attracting the frequencies that you're feeling. You decide how you feel. It's your choice to feel. You want to feel like you're living in shit and all you got is shitty friends and your world is shit? If that's how you feel about it, good. Your world is shit. Congratulations. You got shitty friends. You're a shitty person and your world is shit. If that's how you feel about it, congratulations. It's your choice to feel that way. Power is law of attraction. You choose to feel that way. You're choosing it. Everything in SimCity, you're choosing how you respond to everything. You're judging it. You put a negative or a positive label on anything, you're perspectivizing it. You're judging it. And you will be judged by the measure that you judge. I didn't write this. We will be measured by the measure that we are judged. Cosmic karma, life and in death. There's penalties for all things that we do in life and in death. Cosmic karma, you will be judged by the measure that you measure by. But if you don't judge anything and you're just neutral about everything, then you didn't judge nothing, so you're not going to get judged. Because you didn't judge anything, you're just a witness. You're just here. Things are happening. Atoms are moving. Sounds are vibrating, colors are moving. People, cars, everything's moving. You're here, things are happening. Don't have to feel anything. It's your choice. No, you can feel things, but it's to be aware that it's your choice to do that. And all the results because of what you choose to do. Accept them before realize it's because of what you chose to do in the first place. Pretty funny, isn't it? Everything's a choice. This is SimCity. Everything's a choice. You don't have to feel. Feeling is a neutral starting place. The minute you feel, you're judging. Doctors are saying, well, if you don't act this way and you don't express how you're feeling, you're very confusing. Yes, because they want you to be emotional. Little fish, easily manipulated. They're telling you to be emotional. Express your feelings. You should feel yourself. No, that's how you're easily manipulated. Feelings are choices. Realizing that this is SimCity. Feelings are choices. Here's a controller. You're an avatar. Feelings are choices. You can't do anything about anything. Everything's coming at you. You can't do anything about anything. Now what? Are you going to do about any of it? Nothing but a witness. Make the best possible decision in the now. With all the information you have, make the best possible decision in the now. Beware, there's a vibration to the left and right of your choice, so everything comes back on that choice. You choose it. You choose it. My mother, okay, she has Alzheimer's, she's an alcoholic, she's practically the cat lady, okay? She complains to me all the time about homeless guys that come up and try to take advantage of her, use her apartment, raid her fridge, that sort of thing. And I tell her all the time, I said, Mom, you choose to open the damn door in the first place. You let them in. You let them in. You made that choice right there. You didn't have to let them in. Greet them at the door. I don't feel good. Log it. Have a nice day. You chose to let them in. Everything's a choice. We don't look at it that way. We leapfrog on everything. They sell us to be emotional. That's what commercials are for. That's what celebrities are for. So politicians, that's what it's all for. Make us feel. A bunch of emotional codfish leaping around, minnows in a pond, snapping. You know, you see it? All being hooked on a line. Strung along. Oh, it's horrible. It is a lot, you know. When you start seeing it, they'll sit over this, and Karen's got a lot of the videos too. And I do work with people one-on-one to help them understand the math. I work through. I don't charge anything for any of this. I sit at home. I don't know nothing else to do with my time. This is what I don't even know I want to. I don't even want to do this, but it's like a moral obligation to express this understanding of math because it's beautiful in my mind. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's the original math, and I understand it, and I see how it works. But the words, barriers in language, lack of education, but universal understanding. Mechanical understanding of the universe and expressing it in scientific college terms and stuff. It's very confusing. Some of the words I don't even understand. I've never even heard of them before. And in my mind, I don't want to. Don't need to. Because I know I'm right. It's not that I want to be right. It's that I know I'm right. Because it's the fundamental. It's everything, man. When you really start understanding it, like when you do it for yourself, you visually see it in your head. It's all about the experience of building this map. And once you build it for your own self, it will unlock that understanding in your mind through physically doing it with your hand. It'll just pop. It'll just pop. And what this is a clock. It's a 9-ring clock, and it's all wheels inside of wheels on this one, but they're not wheels. They're triangles in motion. But as you get down into these rings, you realize the rings aren't even there. They're scalar waves. Then you realize there's only 3 waves, red, blue, and yellow. Then you realize there's just a damn triangle in the middle. And it's in motion. Because there's only one thing. And it's 3, which is a triangle. Which is the center of the projected hologram. Hear that, FPV? Is he still there?
I'm not sure where he is at the moment.
But that's the center of that point in the middle is the center of your projection. Center of sound, center of source, vectorial field, the point in the middle. Because everything starts and ends in the middle. Even on a line, the beginning, in the middle, and the end. They all meet in the middle. We got figure 8. They meet in the middle. It's just 2 circles meeting on a point.
I don't think he's... FPV, are you there?
Oh.
He did say he needed to go somewhere, or was it ages ago?
I thought he was still there. Now I listened to that later. That's a verbal explanation of about exploding the sound, because we're all it's a hologram. If it's tech, it's tech. It is what it is. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is. But I'm telling you, the moon's the middle. That's not what we're being sold. The moon's in the middle. That's the true story. Moon's in the middle. Sun's a reflection through the water. It's light shining through. It's a negative light. We're being blinded by the light. We're being blinded by the light of the sun. And the moon is the midnight sun. It's upside down. Isis was the name for the moon. In the Grand Canyon, there was a temple to the moon, Isis. There's a burial chamber under the Grand Canyon. They're mocking us.
But it's definitely mocking us, isn't it?
Yeah. The guy was chasing flat, different shapes, arguing about the sun. One sun, two sun. But ain't nobody talking about the moon. Not like that. Not like that. Nope. Everybody's chasing the sun.
Well, the the rift in the stars, right?
Yep.
The image of that is supposed to be on the moon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. That's what a swastika is actually referred to, is the X that meet the 4 equinoxes in the sky.
Yeah, that big rift.
That's where
rift you see.
That's what a swastika is. Yeah, that's what the swastika is symbolizing. That's what it means. That's what a swastika actually means.
Well, that's the image that's on the moon. That, like, if you can match it up like a dot to dot, it matches up. So it's like an image from the moon being projected onto the
atmosphere. That X in the sky is projected onto the moon. But watch this. There's a hole in the middle of the earth. You have to go, if you've ever heard of Admiral Byrd, Richard Byrd. There's some clippage.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
He flew over the North Pole, and there's some overshots of the North Pole and some of the things that are being exposed on YouTube. You can see the hole.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I believe they just blacked it out. So you can't really see what's there.
No, I mean, there's a really old one that's floating around. I've seen it. I'll get it to Karen.
Right, but I think, in my mind, I think it's a they black it. I think they black it out. That way you can't actually see. Kind of like saying, here's Area 51, but with the black circle there. Saying, it's some kind of crazy
plane. This was taken from a plane. The angle and the way you see it and the way it's being presented they're flying around in a circle, and the perspective is down from the window of an airplane.
Right, but did you see the light and the perspective, like it was changing matter right in front of your eyes?
I saw the twist. I saw the vortex. It chilled me right to my core. When I saw the video that I was seeing, that I personally saw, it chilled me. It chilled me to my core.
Well, I just think they do it because they don't know what's there, maybe. So they just show a black ass circle for somewhere they can't go. They can't get there. Like Antarctica, there's places they can go so far. They can have so much fuel.
In biblical terms, Antarctica is the kingdom of fire and rock.
Well, ice, you can get freezer burnt. So, yeah, that makes sense.
And that's the prison for Lucifer.
Oh, so ice is the real heat also, just as much as heat.
Right. Everything's backwards, and the light is a result of the sun, the moon. The sun is a result of the moon. I'm trying to teach myself much. I'm just learning about the moon in the last couple of months. But naturally I already knew about currents, and I know that it produces its own light, and it pulls and causes tidal. When you see it causes the oceans to turn, then realize that the moon is causing the skies to turn because the water is the plane. See? The water is the line through the middle. Of the bubble. When you're doing this toroidal math, the axis line, that's the water line. The plane of existence that we lock on is the water line. Ain't that a thought?
Because a firmament divided the waters. What's the firmament then? If it's the water is the midpoint.
Well, remember there's several states of water. Water's 3 states.
Right. Solid, gas, liquid.
Ice.
Right. Solid, gas, liquid. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's creating this. We're in this sound shape. That's an air pocket. The cold created the shape that we're in. When you go back into Old Testament, Moses was issued. He didn't write them. They were issued to him. That's the difference in understanding. The Ten Commandments was issued from a piece of the firmament. It was cut from the sky. And the sky was labeled as sapphire. The sapphire is blue. But in the old words for sapphire, it was sapphire. Sapphire. So it's a blue lens of resonance.
Fire. Like a pyramid is a pyramid. Pyramid.
Yeah. So seeing how they changed the words. Just seeing that they're changing the words. Not much, but just enough to throw us off. They changed all the names of the countries. Egypt isn't over there. Egypt's right here. Israel's not a place. Israel's a people and a blood type, not a landmass. See that? Israel's a people, not a landmass or a location. That Israel over there is a major Ponzi scheme. It was invented in 1947 by the Balfour Agreement. It was bought into existence by money. Didn't exist before that, really. It was Palestine. Naughty! Naughty.
Yeah, and that goes to show you how hard it is to take out a group of people. They've been scared to go to that area and been trying to take out that group of people since Christopher Columbus.
Right. Well, Christopher Columbus came over to America and genocided 850,000 Americans with alcohol and smallpox, slavery and rape.
Oh shit! They killed billions with the dollar bill and the idea of the imagery of money and the word profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, if you have the item, like if you have the nanotechnology in your hand, for example, that creates everything, yes. you have what creates everything. You don't need the other aspects of shit. So basically, we are the little nanotechnology. We are the thing that creates and does everything. Everything that is and ever will be, we created it.
Right. And they're just trying to control our feelings.
Right.
And the way we think. So we'll create forms and shapes of their kind and thinking.
Right. Now, if you look in nature and go with that, then you can't go too wrong. Right. They're trying to be an unnatural form of reality.
Right. That's why I show people three triangles makes a square. It does. 3 triangles makes a square. And you see it every day. You don't really realize what you're seeing. See? That's a square. Right, that line, that's a square. 3 triangles makes a square.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm just showing you on a Marlboro pack so you can see this being stuck in your face.
It's the design of a Pope hat.
Yeah. So you shove it in your face all the time.
It's an M design. You know,
Circle
like Marlboro,
K.
Mason.
Circle K.
Like a fish's mouth, yeah. It's
McDonald's.
Like the M design. Yeah.
Wendy's.
M&M's.
Yeah. See? That's ridiculous. I gone and flipped my lid. I'm staying home, man. I don't know who's trying to kill me.
Well, everything will kill you for a buck. It comes down to people too. You have to remember a lot of people, against their own detriment, do the shit for money.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, the morals of it or the ideas. It just matters.
Morals and dogma. That's my favorite. Morals and dogma. Yes. What is morally right? Mark Passio. If you like my rants, you'll love a guy named Mark Passio. He's one of my favorites. you know, Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John. Well, I got a Luke, I got a Matthew, and that's Mark Passio. He's great too. He understands a lot about the witchcraft and the occult and how they're doing this mind control too, and how it's all about masculine and feminine energy manipulations, turning you into something you're not.
I just call it all bullshit. I just say it's all bullshit.
Yeah. And the ancient religions, what they're saying is a square is masculine and a triangle is feminine. Right down to it. Square is your sun eye and a triangle is your moon eye. See what I mean? See how this is all going crazy like this? And that gets you your pie shape. And that's what this all comes down to, is that construct of a square and a triangle on a point. All right. Thanks.
Hey guys, can I just say we've been going for 3 hours now. Do you think it's enough time for the live bit and you chat on the after hangout? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I gotta go get some food. I'm starving. This was a random wing for me. I put it off dinner.
Oh, you did really well, Matt. You did really well explaining that.
It's a lot. I mean, I try to bride stroke it, but there's a lot of fine details. There's a lot of things that go into this understanding that I could spend a 5-day period teaching. It takes time. That's all I can say is it takes time to understand it. It's an understanding that we're not meant to have. We're not meant to have it.
I was thinking that. I went down to get a drink a little while ago, and I just thought, that in the past everybody knew everything. But they knew a lot. They don't know everything. And maybe now is the uncoding of everything.
Well, I started coming to these concepts and crazy ideas of numbers and color, and going, well, if I know how all the numbers work, then I know how all the colors roll. And if I know how all the numbers work, and I know how all the colors work, and I know that all sounds are colors and numbers, and every number has a color, then I know all sound things. And I don't even need to know it. I just need to be shown the number and I'll know it because I know the numbers. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a relationship in numbers that doesn't change. It applies to everything. They overlap all physicality because it's color of intention. Color of intention. Isn't that great? Is it blue? Is it yellow? Is it red? Is it positive? Is it negative? Or is it neutral? Color of intention. Is it a 3? Is it a 6? Is it a 9? Is it a blue? Is it a yellow? Is it a red? Is it good, bad, or neutral for me? What do I decide it is? It's however I feel it is. And whatever I feel it is, that's the vibrating reality I'm co-creating and speaking into existence. Whoa! That's not what we're being taught. Now it's a video game and you're in Sim City and this is Avatar. You're not the bottle, the meat suit, the persona, the legal fiction, your name, your title. That's not you. You're not your job occupation either. You're definitely not a monkey because you wouldn't have been involved in, there'd be no monkeys, and somebody that looks like you or even you would be in the cage in the zoo because there wouldn't be any monkeys. You're the monkey. So believe in that story. It's not a fish story. It's a funny story.
Trash.
It's horrible stuff.
Don't eat all those donuts. It's sad.
Yes, go put the rest away. Get them away from me. I've been snacking on them. Run them away.
I want the rest.
You go out, Matt. You must go out. No. No.
Hi. Hi.
No.
My mom tried to give me a crucifix with Jesus on it earlier today. I said, I don't want that shit in my house. Get it out of here.
Then I'll put my hands up. No.
My mom about flipped right out. She's like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
No, that's what I said. So that's not even right. It's not true. It's a ruse and a fiction. It's a cruise and a fiction. It's a phony fish story. It's a funny fallacy. There was no J 2,000 years ago. What does Mama name him? It wasn't Jesus. It's all invention of sounds and manipulation of history to control, and so they can control the outcome and receive the benefit. Oh, look, they're in the driver's seat receiving the benefit. Oh, no. Telling us what to think and how to feel. Well, the truth is, you don't really got to feel any kind of way about anything. It's your choice. You're just here, and things are happening. And you're just part of a greater whole that's part of the sound of the whole thing. That's what Yeshua came down here to tell us. He didn't want to be worshipped. He called you brother and sister. He didn't want to be called teacher either. He didn't like those words. He didn't like being put up on a pedestal. He didn't want it. Didn't want it. Didn't want nothing. I don't want nothing. Just want you to know you're being manipulated. I don't ask for nothing.
Yeah, that's the bit you want. You want to show people how they're being manipulated.
It's horrifying.
Yeah.
And I make a joke out of it because I have 20 years doing it to you. See? Experience. Made $100 million for them. I think I know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of soul.
I've lost Tim now. Been going for 3 hours now, and you've been amazing. And I'm really pleased that you came on. There's always a part 2 and a part 3. There's always more to say.
I know. I really wanted to get into it. Start building stuff. I want to start killing people with cancer. I want to grow gold. I want to fly on a boogie board. I want time travel.
Can you grow me some gold?
I need source. It's like a seed, you know. You don't have the seed, you can't grow the plant. Well, if I don't have some source, I can't grow it. You know? I don't see any gold bars laying around here anywhere.
Make the gold. I want some.
But
Kelly
yes, I mean, you can literally grow any mineral. Any solid can be grown in water if you have the source material. Because everything's a vibration. You just have to understand how to manipulate the sound. You just reverse engineering. We're working backwards. I'm showing you how to work backwards. Because you are being manipulated through a mirror. And you are being blind in the eye that I work from. I'm blue-eyed. I work from the left side of my mind. I see the creation. That's the eye they're blocking you from using. That's why they put me in special classes. That's why I have M's on my fans. That's why the black sheep.
Does Kelly have M's on her hand?
Yep. And the last 4 people that showed up at my house today, too. Those types of people.
Has M's and I have M's.
People with M's on their hands they just key into me. Ugh. Everybody has M's that comes to my house. Anybody that comes over regularly.
Yeah. So I've got M's.
Yeah, I know. I see this stuff. It's right there. And I'm telling you, maybe a month away, I'll be printing 3D holograms. They'll be physical. Yeah. I have a friend that's just bought a kit to build 3D printed machine items. So he's going to scan my work and print it into 3D.
Someone on the channel.
That's well,
Is
he
that
already
cool?
yeah, he already has the kit. It's just a matter of putting it together. It's a
Oh,
do-it-yourself.
that's good then.
So we have the kit. Got to put it together, figure it out. We have the kit. It's like $1,000 kit. That's quite a boot. That's quite. This is a big jump. I don't. You know.
That's good then.
It's almost it's all my own money. I don't get nothing out of this.
I know you've been a bit frustrated lately, but if you imagine in the last few months how much has changed in your work from drawings to digital, come on, you're doing really well.
I know the ones I did yesterday made me cry. They really did. I saw them as soon as I flipped them through the animation program I'm using. I'm looking at it. I was just fucking. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. If this is having this kind of effect on me, wait until I put this in the public eyeball. Because that's not what we're being shown. And none of that should be even possible. But yeah, there it is. And there it is.
I went in the kitchen for water.
How did he do that? And I can't even explain it in terms that they would even understand in the first place. Because their math has limited their minds. That's why I get mad with egos, because they're not going to listen to me anyway, because they think their rules are right, and their rules aren't right, because we didn't write the rule.
You know, that damn ego, it causes so many problems. I do understand.
So as soon as I see it, I'm like, no, see you later, bye. I'm not playing. You're not going to rip with me. I'm staying at home. I got no dog in this. I'm just here and things are happening. I don't care. I'm getting enough. It's going to go wherever it goes eventually anyway. I'm just sitting here and doing my time. Being a witness. There's nothing I can do about anything. People want to run their mouth about me? Fine. You want to call me a dirty whore? Fine. I don't have to talk to you. I don't even have to tune you into my mind. I don't even have to allow you into my cable TV and change the channel. Pull it. And it's just like that. They're out of your life, gone. They're not even in your existence anymore. You don't even hear their sound. Now they don't matter. Right, Karen? See? You see a control? And that's human nature at its core. And once you see that and you fully understand it, then you're just a fucking witness. And none of this shit fucking matters. It is what it is, and I can only do what I'm doing. I can only do now. Whatever I decide to do. If I want to feed into their bullshit, I'm going to feed into their bullshit and make it even bigger bullshit and bigger and bigger. And it's going to draw in more people, and things will fall apart. I don't want that. I see it already, and I know I'm not playing. I see the domino 20 steps ahead. I'm not playing. I'm like, oh, staying at home. See? If you want us to play that way, you play that way. Don't matter. Don't even need it. That's public domain knowledge now. It's all over the place. What are you trying to do? That's crap. Google it. Google it. There's a guy in China that's done it better. Guarantee it. And cheaper. And he figured out how to do it with paperclip and duct tape. You know what I mean? This is not common knowledge. That is his attitude, his opinion, and his ego don't matter. Don't matter. That's all he's trying to do is tear it apart. I threw my shit right in his face. I said, I dumped this all over the public already. Here you go. Now try to explain it. It don't matter because you can't explain it. You don't have a state of mind to see it. Don't matter. Too low. Vibing too low. You can't see high when you're vibing low. Blinded right out. It's outside of your spectrum. Outside your frequency zone. You don't got time for it. It don't have time for you. What are you trading your time for? See? It gets real simple, don't it? You see it? What are you trading your time for? Where's it going? I'm going to trade my time for trinkets at Walmart that are dedicated with sound word, logos, symbols that are dedicated to Saturn and Satan. Trade my life for trinkets that are dedicated to Satan. I'm not interested. I'm going to sit at home. I'm not playing. None of it matters.
I don't blame you. I'm fed up of game players myself.
It's it's a game. They get you with religion. If they don't get, they get you with the education, or they try to get you with religion, or they try
Those
to get
people
you
aren't just honest.
sideshows.
They're not even honest from the beginning. They don't tell you the truth from the beginning. They can't share their feelings. They can't be open, and then they just have a big mask over them, and they use everything else rather than being free.
Yeah, a persona or an icon.
Yeah.
Called a celebrity. The con in your eye.
I don't even think you have to be a celebrity. I think even people really close to you are like that.
Men are women and women are men on TV, so they're con in your eye. Yeah, that's what they're there for. It's upside down world. Bill is Hill and Hill is Billary. True story. And it's been going on like that. Ian, they ain't the first two. You know, Michelle's more manly than Obama. Go look. Laura Bush, same thing. Same thing. Oh, back and back and back. Same thing. Those men are awfully girly, and those women are awfully manly. That's all I got to say about that. It's been going on a long time.
I know. That's another subject, that is.
And that's what they're trying to do to society, is flip the masculine and feminine energy. That's what it is. So they're presenting you a man as a woman and a woman as a man on the TV, as your leaders, everything. The whole world to show. That's what it's all about, flipping everything upside down on itself. See that? Have everything turn on itself. On a massive scale. Woo!
Well, they've just twisted and lied about everything, haven't they? So.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing stuff. But yeah, I gotta go with some food. This was a long chat, and it took a lot out of me. There's a lot of energy just to sit here.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. I really didn't want to do it. Karen twisted my arm.
Oh, but you've got to talk about your work with Iron Realm Media, and I've passed the video of you on, so hopefully they'll have you on their show.
Because this information is not mainstream. This is the hidden factor. This is what they don't want you to know. This is why they're pulling the strings. What that purpose is, why they're doing it. Because you're a battery. You're spiritual co-creators. They're trying to control your feelings. And we're all co-creating and co-feeling and speaking this hologram. That's what TV's for, is controlling your mind and your feelings. And that goes into your education, your religion, and your region, and then your sports. And it's a downhill shitstorm. What? That's what it's all fundamentally at, trying to keep you distracted, infighting over micro and macro things that they're material and they don't matter. They're just distractions. Rome was the circus and the show, bread in the show. That's what it was all about. I said, give them a show and give them food. And you charge run the circus. Look around. That's how Democrats control the vote. They give the immigrants food and a show. Welfare benefits, free entitlement programs. Now they're expanding it here. I just heard today they're expanding main care here in Maine. I'm like, well, that don't sound good. They're expanding it, not shrinking it. I haven't figured that out. I haven't been paying attention. I just heard that in the gas station. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm just here, and that's all I can be. It doesn't matter. I can't do nothing about what they're trying to do. The only thing I can do is control my actions in this shitstorm and how I feel about it. I can feel good, I can feel bad, or I can just be neutral and not feel any kind of way about it, but be aware of the information. That's different. Being ignorant, being aware, and choosing not to feel. Those are all choices that we're not taught to have. The fundamentals. The fundamentals of alchemy and Kemet, gematria, all the ancient belief systems. This is all I have to.
You're off again, Matt.
Huh?
You're off again.
I know. I'm not. See, I gotta stop. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'll get you to come back and start where you left off.
Yeah, this just looked right back to the beginning, didn't it?
Go to the end of the hangout and just see the last thing you say, and then you start with that next time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That's what I'm working right now, is trying to translate their names for all the elements and our names for the elements. That's where it's at now. Trying to translate that. And then it's done. It's all done. I have all the information. Say that?
So that's good.
Yeah, that's just not language. As soon as we figure out the names of things, because everything's sound, and once we understand their sounds, their alphabetic sound, then it's done.
Love you.
It's done. It's a mathematical form of understanding. Love you. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. I'm bushed.
Flat Earth hugs, Matt.
Right. You guys have a good night. Thanks for listening to my madness.
Oh no, I'm glad you came on. You got to tell some more people your stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure they got some meat to chew.
Yeah, I think they do after you.
All right, you guys have a good night. Love you all.
See you soon, Matt. Matt's going, I'm left with FPV and Patricia, but I'm not sure if either of them are there. Patricia, are you there? Patricia! FPV! Tell me they've fallen asleep. Oh, you are there.
In and out.
I'm gonna finish the hangout up now. Thanks for being there, FPV. Flat Earth hugs for FPV and Patricia, and who else came on? Josh came on, and there was another Josh, and there was Walt as well from Iron Realm Media. But anyway, big Flat Earth hugs to everybody in the chat room and everybody that watches this video. And see you tomorrow. Should be with Sassy, but yeah. With Sassy, I just got to get the time right, because she just seems to always, like, when we go on live, she's not there. We have to sort the time out with her, so it might be a little bit later tomorrow. But anyway, bye everybody. Thanks, FPV. Bye.
Bye everyone.